Chapter 51. I want to raise a real dog. Chapter 51. I want to raise a real dog. I'm Robio, leader of the Coastal Rescue Team. How do I address you? Chun Zhao. You can call me Chun. Can you tell me who my patient is and what illness my patient has? Robio glanced at Carrie and Beelzebub. Are they your pets? Yes. Is there a problem? No. I like people who are caring. Air. Haha. Sorry to scare you, but I already have a lover. It turned out that Robio was gay, but Chun Zhao still maintained his smile. Robio brought Chun Zhao to the HQ of the Coastal Rescue Team. There were two sexy ladies in bikinis outside who were practicing boxing. Looking at the two ladies who were covered in sweat, Chun Zhao could feel his heart pound. Chun Zhao always believed that there were two things in the world that could bring warmth, namely the sun and sexy ladies. Chun Zhao was absolutely stunned by those jumping melons. Hey, stop staring at them like this. I know they're sexy, but your look is very rude. Okay. Chun Zhao glanced at the two beauties for one last time before stepping into the HQ. The HQ of the Coastal Rescue Team looked more like a gym. I don't think I see anyone who needs treatment. Everyone present was more than just healthy. Chun Zhao could not see anyone who might have a disease. Just then, a woman walked over, her body as hot as a blaze of fire. She was wearing a pair of tight-fitting sweatpants and a bikini top. The woman was so dazzling that Chun Zhao recalled Kelly and the sisters Shalian and Irwin. Robio, who's this? He's the doctor. Chun, this is Feilai. Hi, are you my patient? Chun Zhao did not believe that the beauty before him was ill, but he did not mind treating her, even if it was for free. Not me. Are these your pets? You seem to be paying too much attention to my pets. If you have any bans regarding this, I wouldn't be able to help you. I have the habit of bringing my pets to work. In fact, I bring them with me most of the time. No, that's not what I meant. Follow me. Chun Zhao was brought into a room which had nobody else inside. He almost thought that the woman was going to do something with him. Confused, Chun Zhao looked at Feilai. Is my patient not here yet? Right there. Feilai pointed to a corner of the room. There, an old dog was lying powerlessly in a kennel. It was an old German shepherd. The original courage and fearlessness in its eyes had already disappeared, and it could only occasionally whimper. I'm not a vet. I know. Then why did you call me here? I'm not asking you to heal him. In fact, he can't be healed. I hope that you can kill him and free him from his suffering with as little pain as possible. I'm not a vet, and also not a killer. Sorry. Chun Zhao shook his head, ready to leave. Please help him. He has saved at least 236 people in its life. He's the hero of the Coastal Rescue Team, and also our senior. Now, he's suffering from cancer. We can't save him, so please help him to return to God's embrace. You can end his life yourself? We can't. None of us can do it. You can't do it, so you asked a doctor to come here and be the killer? Chun Zhao was somewhat frustrated. I don't mean that. I feel that perhaps you know how to kill him with minimal pain. I said I'm not a killer. Aren't you an illegal doctor? Chun Zhao turned his head and stared at Feilai. Whether I'm legal or not, I'm not going to kill a dog. Chun Zhao turned around and left. How unlucky this is. He could not dislike this group of people more. They appear to be kind, but they only wanted another person to be the bad guy. Why would such a beautiful woman do such a disgusting thing? When Chun Zhao walked out, Robio approached him. You didn't do it, right? You should do this yourself. I'm a doctor, not a killer. Sorry. I know this must be so difficult for you. Robio did not say anything else and brought Chun Zhao out. Chun Zhao left the Coastal Rescue Team. However, the look of the dying dog was still vivid in his mind. Chun, are we leaving? Wait for a while. Take your time. Anyway, there's so many sexy women here, Vincent replied. Then continue watching them. Chun Zhao ran back to the HQ of the Coastal Rescue Team. Robio did not leave and noticed Chun Zhao's return. Chun, why are you back? You forgot something? Can you give that dog to me? Perhaps I can make it live longer. Buddy, he has cancer. Only God can cure him. I only want to try. You're going to kill it anyway. No, we have never planned to kill it. Only Phalai did. In fact, I've never supported this idea at all, and we're also not going to give it to anyone. It's the hero here, and we'll hold the grandest funeral for it. What it needs now is not a grand funeral. Maybe I cannot cure it, but I can allow it to run again in the last part of its life, just like a normal dog. Robio fell into silence. Looking at the two pets beside Chen Zhao, he started hesitating. He could tell that Chen Zhao was also a kind man. When Chen Zhao walked out of the room just now, his face was completely dark. Clearly, he was furious about why he was called here. Having displayed such anger, Chen Zhao would surely not harm their hero. Can you come at night? Robio asked.
Sure.
Chen Zhao could understand Robio's intention. He was probably trying to avoid Phalai. Chen Zhao did not leave. He found a restaurant nearby and asked Vincent to eat together, successfully spending the entire afternoon. Chen Zhao really wanted a real pet, and not a demon or something else. Chen, what you're about to do is illegal, right? Vincent asked. Please, I'm never going to do something illegal. Someone said that he's going to give me a dog, and I don't know anything else. Even if I appear in court one day, I'm still going to say that. You claim that you don't do anything illegal. So does being an illegal doctor count? Please provide your evidence, or I'll make you sit in jail until the end of time. The antagonists in movies always say this, but in the end, they always get caught. The reality is not a movie, and I'm also not an antagonist. This is not your style. You don't benefit from this at all. You took $200 from me for the rides, and also made me treat you a meal, which costs $30. And my pay this time is only $200, so I did not come here for profit in the first place, Chen Zhao said. Then what is it for? Love? I only hope that the dog can have a good ending. It's worth me paying $230 for. Chapter 52. Are there really miracles in this world? Chapter 52. Are there really miracles in this world? As the sky darkened, the people on the beach lessened. Phalai, work's over. Robio patted Phalai's shoulder. Go relax. Phalai had heavy spirits. Others didn't know this, but when she was still a child, she'd come to this beach and had had an accident that had put her in danger. It had been Walter, the hero dog lifeguard, who'd saved her. Every year after that, Phalai would come visit Walter. Last year, she became Walter's companion. However, Walter had aged considerably by then. He could no longer run or swim so fast. But to Phalai, he was still her hero. She viewed him as her family. 2 months ago, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. For both humans and dogs, this was a fatal condition. Seeing how Walter suffered, Phalai felt even more pain. She tried many things, but she realized that both humans and dogs would become so weak and powerless in the face of cancer. Some people thought that euthanasia was mercy. Others thought it was cruel. Phalai had never thought that she would get this idea one day. However, as soon as this idea was planted, she couldn't control it anymore. She thought that death was the biggest help to Walter. She just couldn't make the final decision. She'd rather invite an outsider, a stranger, to help her. Unfortunately, that person refused her and humiliated her right there. Your sadness won't save Walter. I don't want Walter to see you like this either. I can take over now. The lifeguards had shifts too. Robio volunteered to switch today. Okay. After Phalai left the beach, she went straight to the hospital. When was the last time you went to our house? Phalai hugged her little sister. Phalai, how come you're here? Was younger, but she was more mature. You seem sad. Did you get dumped? Is there a cure for cancer? Phalai, don't tell me you have cancer. Instantly grew nervous. No, not me. Someone important to me got cancer. You already know the answer, said helplessly. Why are you asking me? There's no cure for cancer. At least, there's no effective treatment right now. The treatments are mainly for repressing the condition or cutting it out, but relapse is common for the latter. Are there really no miracles in this world? If we're talking about miracles, there really is. I witnessed it too. What miracle? My professor was in the late stages of stomach cancer. She's already 96 years old too. I was in charge of everything, from her diagnosis to re-examination and treatment. My treatment didn't seem to have any effect though. It couldn't even delay her death. But recently, she recovered miraculously. Completely. Her cancer cells vanished, and then I did all sorts of tests to confirm that they really were gone. Don't you think it's a miracle? How can this happen? Did she try some special medicine? I don't know. I can't be sure if she has used some type of special medicine either, but she said that she didn't. So did she or did she not? My guess is that she personally didn't, and someone secretly gave it to her without her knowing. A day before she recovered, she was taken to the hospital by her grandson and his friend because of a big relapse. That day, her tumor began shrinking rapidly and vanished within 24 hours. I suspect that her grandson's friend secretly gave her some medicine. You're sure? I've seen her grandson's friend twice. The first time, he snuck into the room of a child with brain cancer. I'd already notified the child's family that he might pass away, but the next day, he was miraculously able to be discharged. The tumor hadn't disappeared completely, but it had shrunk to 1/3 the size. The danger had passed. I suspect that the child had been saved because of him too. He's a doctor. Yes, a very strange man. He has great skills but no license. I wonder if he researched by himself and discovered the medicine to cure cancer. Are you being serious? These are all my guesses. Even I doubt if it's true or if it's just a coincidence. Do you know how to find that man? Fer shook her head. No, I tried, but I just can't find him. I asked my professor for her grandson's number and tried to have him give me the man's contact information, but he refused. There's no other way to find him? Phalai grabbed For's hand pleadingly. For thought for a moment and a light bulb flashed. Oh, I thought of something. She immediately pulled out a pile of documents and flipped through it. I found it. This is it. Rasfa Loranham, Zola Loranham. It's them. These two were VIPs of the hospital, so the hospital stored their information. Isn't Rasfa Loranham the chairman of PLM Film? I saw him on the entertainment section of the LA Times. This man seems to be his private doctor. You want to get information from him? That's impossible. He's a billionaire. You probably can't even get close to him, let alone get information out of him. Not him. His daughter, Miss Zola. She should be rich too, right? Are you sure you can get close to her? Of course. Her son was attacked by a shark at the beach recently and lost his left leg. I did the surgery. He's in the recovery stage now. I can use this as an excuse to visit him. When will you go? Now? Can you take me with you? Phalai looked at her with anticipation. Then let's go, For said. Did you drive? Yes. Where does she live? Beverly Hills. Rich as expected. Stop pulling me. I need to get her son's records organized. Go get the car from the underground parking. Chapter 53. Mystery. Chapter 53. Mystery. After Phalai and For reached Beverly Hills, they left the car and walked in. Zola Lorentham's house should be right in front. This place is so luxurious. The best coastline of Los Angeles, no, of the entire United States, is taken by these rich people, and the richest among them took the best part. Since they're so rich, they'll naturally try their best to enjoy the best. However, death is fair. Whether you're rich or poor, you can't escape death. For, look there. Phalai suddenly pointed her finger in front. Why? Do you know that person? No. Look closely. Isn't that the amputated Daniel Loranham in your files? On a road filled with windmill palms, there was a young man in sweatshirt running. For immediately took out her files. Are they twins? For, look at his left leg. Looks like it's from someone else. Did he find a person who's willing to denote his leg and do limb exchange? No way. It's just been 9 days since Daniel's operation. Even if he did such a surgery, and it was successful without any rejection, he would also not be able to run so soon. Moreover, I don't see any signs of stitching on his leg. It looks like his leg has developed normally. But the color of his upper thigh is clearly different from the rest of his leg. Frowning, Four called, "Daniel." Hearing the shout, Daniel turned his head and looked at Four and Phalai. Then, he jogged towards them. "Ladies, do I know you?" Daniel did not recognize Four. After all, he was unconscious during the operation. After that, he was sent to his home directly. Thus, he had never seen Four and did not know her identity. "Daniel, weren't you amputated?" "How?" "Huh. That's just misinformation. Actually, I was only mildly injured that time even though everyone thought it was severe." "Are you a friend of Riley? Or Joseph?" Daniel answered calmly. In fact, this was what he had been telling his friends over these few days. "Is it? Have you not been amputated?" "Of course not. If I was amputated, would I be able to stand in front of you now?" Daniel gave a dry laugh. Little did he know that while this would work for all his schoolmates, it was completely useless before Four. That was because Four was the person who had cut his leg off. "Daniel, I forgot to explain. I'm actually a doctor. 9 days ago, I carried out amputation for a patient who had been bitten by a shark." "Sorry, I am busy. I have to leave now." Daniel turned around, ready to run away. He had just lied to someone whom he should have been afraid to meet. There was already no way he could explain himself. "Daniel, I have with me your medical report. If you run away now, I'll publicize the report right away." Daniel stopped and stared at Four and Phalai with a gloomy look. "What do you want? How much do you want?" "We don't want any money. We're not blackmailers," Four said. "Did Chun connect your leg for you?" "Chin? Who's Chun? I don't know him." Four waved the medical report in her hand. "Are you sure?" Daniel shamelessly snatched the report from Four. "I'm very sure. I don't know the Chin you're talking about." "You can take all you want. I can print as many reports as I want from the hospital. Just tell me a price. How about $100,000? As long as you stop disturbing me." "That's generous, but unfortunately I don't want any money. I only want Chin's number." "Then just publicize the report. Nobody will believe you anyway, because the fact that I'm standing right now is enough to crush all rumors." "What if I add a video of the operation? Do you still think that nobody will believe it?" Daniel gritted his teeth. "It doesn't matter what you have. I'm not going to admit that I have any relations with Chun. Why are you even trying to help him hide this? I will be able to find him sooner or later." "I don't care if you can find him. In any case, I'm not going to tell anyone anything about him. As for whether you're going to publicize my case, to be honest, although it can indeed cause me some trouble, it'll be nothing serious. I can leave this place first and wait until everything is over. By then, nobody will remember what has happened to me. On the other hand, you'll be sued for leaking a patient's information. Then, I'll make the two of you bankrupt because of the bad impact you've brought to your patient." Daniel was Zola's son after all, and had undergone elite education. Temporary panic did not mean that he was really at his wit's end. After he calmed down, he was no longer scared. "Mr. Daniel, Chun has unparalleled medical knowledge. If he can use it on more people, he can save millions. God will thank you." "Ha! His medical knowledge can't even be passed around. Why not?" "Let me ask you, do you believe in sorcery?" "No," Four answered firmly. "No matter where one is, there would always be tricksters who claim that they can heal the sick with magic or something else. Doctors are the ones who hate these tricksters the most." That included Four. She had seen many patients miss their best treatment periods because they believed in the so-called sorcery. Most of them had terrible endings. "So we've got nothing to talk about. Goodbye." "Are you trying to say that Chin used sorcery to connect your left leg? Your original leg is still in the hospital now. What if I say that my leg grew out right before my eyes? Do you believe it?" Four wanted to say that she did not believe it, but then she looked at the colors of Daniel's legs. One was clearly the result of long-term sunlight, while the other looked like it had never been exposed to the sun. Therefore, she swallowed what she was about to say. However, her sanity was telling her that it was only the result of something she had yet to understand, and not magic. Looking at the leaving Daniel, Four fell silent. "Four, are we still going to his house?" Four still kept quiet. After a while, she raised her head and stared at Phalai. "Phalai, do you believe in sorcery?" I don't know. Phalai did not know what to do. You believed him, right? No. You've indeed believed his words, for knew her sister way too well. When Phalai was lying, she would be too scared to stare at four in her eyes. 4. You saw Daniel's leg yourself. It doesn't look like the result of surgery. It's more like his leg just grew out from the wound. I'll solve this mystery, for said firmly. Chapter 54, Pet. Chapter 54, Pet. Robio carried Walter while looking at Chun Zhao. I hope I can go see Walter whenever I want. If he dies, please notify me. Of course. Chun Zhao nodded. Walter, come here. Chun Zhao clapped his hands and went to hold Walter. Walter was very weak. These few months of illness had made living more painful than dying for him. However, without my permission, you can't disclose where Walter went or any information about me, okay? Okay. Robio nodded. I'll tell Four that I killed Walter. Chun Zhao carried Walter to the car. Walter lay in Chun Zhao's lap and drifted to sleep. At home, Chun Zhao mixed some perfect crystal powder in water and gave it to Walter. The effect was nice, but he needed to rest more. Woof, woof, woof. Only one person would appear by sticking his head out of the wall, Blackie. Walter barked crazily at him, clearly thinking Blackie was an intruder. Hey, Blackie, Chun Zhao said, surprised. He can see you. Not every dog can see me, but some human pets are special, Blackie said in defense. They can see things that humans can't. He glanced at Walter. Chun, where did you get him from? I can sense the deathly aura from him. You can sense his death? Yes. It's a gravely sick dog. However, I just gave it some perfect crystal. Is it ineffective? Seems like it. It will die in 6 hours. Right now is just a reflection of its life. Chun Zhao furrowed his brows. Why is it not working? Are demonic crystals ineffective on dogs? I don't know. After all, no one has used such precious demonic crystals on a dog before. Chun Zhao's expression darkened. Are there no other solutions? You're the doctor. You know more about saving people. On the other hand, I'm a soulbringer. I know more about death than you. I need to go to your home. You're welcome anytime, Blackie said. Chun Zhao brought Walter into Blackie's territory. Walter was clearly unsettled and kept looking around. Just then, a huge figure emerged from the mist. Woof, woof, woof. Little 1, Little 2, and Little 3 had appeared. Woof, woof, woof. Walter, calm down, Chun Zhao comforted it. They're not enemies. Walter looked suspiciously at the 3. He seemed very troubled. Little 1, Little 2, and Little 3 also looked at Walter suspiciously. Then Walter went forward and licked Little 2's head. The hellhound lowered onto the ground and put their heads together. They felt that Walter was the same as them, just much smaller. Maybe it was a child. With their intelligence, they couldn't comprehend how they were different. By nature, they were still dogs. Walter also couldn't understand. It had seen many dogs before, and its slightly less advanced brain just assumed that these guys were also dogs. Little 1, Little 2, Little 3, you guys play with Walter, okay? The 3 heads licked Chun Zhao, and he patted them all, one by one. He had to treat them all equally. Anyone who didn't attention would throw a tantrum. Dogs were all like this. They could coexist peacefully with humans, but they had attitudes too. Chun Zhao walked into the research lab and impatiently rushed to the lower level. He had to find out why Walter couldn't absorb the demonic crystal. This process didn't take too much time. He soon found relevant content. It said, I've done many experiments on animals, humans, and demons. Many experiments use demonic crystals. These crystals have demonic in the name, but they aren't unique to hell. There are demonic crystals in the human world too. They are just much rarer. Demons have the highest absorption rate. They can absorb 90% of 1 year's worth demonic crystals and directly extend their lives. Humans are next. They can absorb around 1/4 of what a demon can. Humans can't take large amounts though. This is due to the structure of their body. They're too fragile. Animals are the worst at absorbing demonic crystals. This is because their intelligence is too low, so their souls are more fragile too. The demonic crystal doesn't only affect the physical body, it also affects the soul. The main purpose is to lengthen lives. To do so, one must strengthen one's body and soul. Demons are the strongest in these two aspects, so the demonic crystal is also the most effective for them. Humans have strong souls, but their bodies are weak, so the effect is a bit weaker. Animals have the weakest souls, and their bodies aren't much stronger than humans. Here, Chun Zhao realized why Walter couldn't absorb the demonic crystal. No, it wasn't that Walter couldn't absorb it at all. The effect was just very bad. Chun Zhao continued reading what was written. I thought of a way for humans to have bodies as strong as demons, or at least close. I've started modifying humans. The modified humans indeed have higher rates of absorption. However, the modified humans aren't humans anymore. Later, I started modifying animals. Different from the complicated modifications of the human body, I mostly modify an animal's soul. I demonify them. I gave a dog a hatching fruit and its soul turned into a demon soul. I failed the first time because the dog's physical body was too weak to withstand a demon soul. I made some changes and strengthened the body of the second experiment. I poured water from the blood sea and demonic blood into the experiment, transforming it into a hybrid demon. Both its soul and body had been changed, but its nature hadn't changed. My experiment was successful. Compared to human experiments, experimenting on animals is obviously much easier. After this, I tried many more experiments, all on animals. Some succeeded, others failed. Here, Chun Zhao was a bit hesitant. Should he modify Walter? Would it still be Walter after being modified? After pondering, Chun Zhao still decided to modify Walter. After all, it would be unfortunate if his first pet died the first day it got here. Plus, Walter should get this kind of treatment. Other than being his first pet, he was qualified to be deemed a hero. Chapter 55. Converting Walter. Chapter 55. Converting Walter. Blackie, are you there? Blackie's head popped out from the wall. Yes? Can I summon an inferior demon here? Of course. After all, it was Blackie's territory. Although Chun Zhao was a frequent guest, he still had to respect Blackie. Chun Zhao summoned Raz, who immediately bowed at him humbly. The honored living, thank you for summoning me. Is there anything I can help you with? I need a hatching fruit and also some water from the blood sea. Huh. The honored living. Are you going to convert into a demon? Or perhaps converting someone else into a demon? It's my pet, not me. Is the conversion ritual very common? In the past, such a conversion was unheard of, until 300 years ago when a method to convert into hybrid demons appeared. 300 years ago? Did this particular soulbringer spread the method to hell? You also need some demon's blood, which I'm willing to donate. Oh right. I don't think you need mine. You have a better choice? A better choice? What's the benefit of using better demon's blood? A higher success rate. At the same time, there will be a small chance of an unexpected effect. What unexpected effect? Awakening of special abilities, like the special abilities of demons? Yes. Okay, I got it. What's the prices of these two things? 10 years of demonic crystals for the hatching fruit, and 1 year for the blood sea water. Can I give you perfect crystal powder? Perfect crystal powder? When Raz saw Chun Zhao take out a bag of perfect crystal powder, his face froze at once. You ground a perfect crystal into powder. Yup. God, do you know what you've done? You're wasting a treasure. Do you know how precious perfect crystals are in hell? Only large demon lords and demon kings can enjoy those. You actually ground one into powder. It was not the first time Chun Zhao heard a demon complain about his action, but he was not too concerned. A perfect crystal that had been ground into powder form would only help him earn more demonic crystals. One must learn to give before one can gain. Can you sell me the remaining perfect crystal powder? What are you going to give me in return? The spatial ring? The honored human, that's impossible. Although a perfect crystal is still very valuable after being ground, it cannot be compared to a full crystal. But its value should still be quite high, or else you wouldn't have asked me to sell it to you. If you still have all the powder from the perfect crystal, I can of course trade it with the spatial ring, but you've already used a lot. Fine. So what are you going to give me to exchange for the perfect crystal powder? How about a stone of contamination? They have roughly the same value. Stone of contamination? What's its use? It can make a human or a demon sick, and you can control it. The stone of contamination contains all the diseases in the human world and in hell. Raz took out a green stone. I'm a doctor. I don't need this. Precisely because you're a doctor, you need it. You can make someone sick and then treat the person. That's the fastest way for you to earn money. It's too troublesome. I might as well rob someone. Do you have anything else that's useful? After thinking for a while, Raz said, spiritual vessel. Perhaps it will be useful for you. Spiritual vessel? Yes. The spiritual vessel can absorb the spiritual power of others and then inject it into a specific target. What's the use of the so-called spiritual power? It can make a person more lively. For example, when you're tired, you can restore your energy with just a bit of spiritual power. Not useful at all. Chen Zhao twitched his mouth. How much does it cost? 1/3 of the perfect crystal powder. Too expensive. I can give you at most a quarter. Fine. Noticing Raz's quick agreement, Chen Zhao felt that the price was too high. Raz took out an hourglass and gave it to Chen Zhao. How do I use it? Put it somewhere with a lot of people. It will be filled with spiritual power automatically. Will it cause any harm to others? Nope. Actually, it's not engulfing the spiritual power of others, but rather absorbing the spiritual power that's being released by others. When you need it, just open the cover and drink some to restore your energy. Do you have any other good stuff? Raz presented a few more items to Chen Zhao, none of which he found useful. Oh yeah, do you still have substitution coins? No, I only had one that time. If you manage to get more of them, tell me. Sure. If there's nothing else, I'll return to health first. Bye. Chen Zhao walked out again and asked Beelzebub to donate some of his blood. Walter, come here. Chen Zhao found Walter, which was playing with the hellhound. Walter stuck its tongue out and ran towards Chen Zhao. Walter, you're not going to live for much longer. Now, I'm going to convert you into a demon. I hope that you can understand it, as it can allow you to live longer. If you accept, bark once, and if you don't, bark twice. Woof woof. Great. You just accepted my offer twice. Chen Zhao squatted down. Drink all of this? Tilting its head, Walter stared at Chen Zhao. He could not understand what Chen Zhao was trying to say. It could only understand some simple instructions and actions from humans. Chen Zhao did the action of drinking. Drink this. Drink. Looking at the colorful liquid in the bowl, Walter seemed to be somewhat reluctant. Even Walter probably felt that it was some kind of dark cuisine. Little one, little two, little three, come and drink half of it. The three huge dog heads lowered and stuck their tongues out together. Immediately, the demonic medicine that Chen Zhao had spent much effort to make reduced by half. Stop. That's too much. Roar. The three heads all howled in delight. They liked the taste. After all, the medicine had some perfect crystal powder in it. Seeing the joy of little one, little two, and little three, Walter finally lowered its head and drank the demonic medicine. The taste was somewhat weird but nice. However, after taking a few mouthfuls, Walter seemed to feel tired. It took a few shaky steps and then fell beside Chen Zhao's feet. Woof. Little one pushed Walter with his head, but there was no response. Chen Zhao checked Walter's condition. It was still breathing and seemed to have just fallen asleep. Nevertheless, Chen Zhao was unsure if the demonic medicine he had made was effective. Chapter 56. You're Ethan's son? Chapter 56. You're Ethan's son? Chen Zhao left Walter with the hellhounds and told them to take care of it. He went into the research lab and continued reading the demon's medical book. Suddenly, he heard the hellhounds bark and he ran out. Walter had already woken up, but he seemed to be rolling on the ground in pain. Chen Zhao didn't get close. He stood and watched Walter from afar. The medicine might have come into effect, changing Walter's body and soul. However, his outer appearance didn't change. After more than 10 minutes of pain, Walter slowly calmed down. If one only looked at his appearance, his head had gotten slightly bigger, but there weren't any other changes. After the pain subsided, he would never feel pain again. Compared to the torture of cancer, he felt very light and filled with energy now. Walter leapt onto Chen Zhao. He stumbled back and almost lost his balance. It had gotten much stronger. The demonic medicine had gone into effect. He had become a hybrid demon now. Smiling wryly, Chen Zhao patted Walter's head. He'd wanted to raise him like a regular pet, but he became a demon. Did he have no chance to have a normal pet? Little one, little two, little three, Walter and I are going out. You all can play with Walter next time. The three hellhounds walked Chen Zhao and Walter to the door. They seemed very sad. Dogs needed their owner's accompaniment. If they didn't have attention in a long time, they would get depressed. The three hellhounds were all dogs that lacked love, all three of them. Blackie didn't have time to play with them, so they were excited whenever Chen Zhao visited. They didn't want to let Chen Zhao and Walter leave. Little Two tugged on the corner of Chen Zhao's shirt. It wished he wouldn't have to go and could keep playing with them. You three be good. I'm really leaving now, but I promise I'll come again tomorrow, okay? Little Two let go of Chen Zhao's shirt and whined. Walter walked over and put his head against Little Two's. Then it switched to Little One and Little Three. They seemed to be communicating. Woof! Finally, Chen Zhao and Walter reached the exit and returned to their home. Human, you messed around the entire night just to turn this regular dog into a hybrid demon? Beelzebub said with disdain. He could sense his blood running through Walter. Master, you already have me, Carrie said in a choked voice. Why do you have to lure over other demons? Chen Zhao glared at Raymond, who was about to speak. Don't talk. If you do, I'm going to make snake soup. I was going to tell you that you have 3 missed calls. Raymond shrugged its head. Okay, I wronged you. Even if this dog turns into a hybrid demon, it's still stupid, Raymond said nonchalantly. I don't know what its value is, making you put so much effort in saving her. I don't get it. As expected, you're all so petty. He is a new friend. You don't have to welcome it, but why do you have to insult him? Ding dong. The doorbell rang just then. It was the police from last time. Chen Zhao was confused. Sir, we meet again. You're still living here? Yeah, the rent's cheap. Yesterday, we received a complaint that dog barks here disturbed the neighbors. I'm sorry. I have a new family member. It might have been lost in this unfamiliar environment. It won't happen again. Okay, it's just a small thing. Keep it in mind for the future. Are there still paranormal activities here? Not yet. If it happens again, I'll let you know. You don't have to. I don't know how to take care of that. You know, the residents in town have started a bet. Betting what? How long you can stay here. Did you bet? Yeah. I bet $10 that you'll move within the month. Did anyone bet that I won't move? I want to bet for myself. Yes. If you die here, it's 3 times the bet. Chen Zhao didn't reply. Okay. I'm going on patrol. Oh, right. We're acquaintances now, right? But I don't know your name yet. I'm Leonardo, not that movie star. I know that if you Asians hear my name, you'll immediately think of him. I'm Chen Zhao, but you can call me Chen. Okay, Chen. Next time I get off work, we can get a drink together. Bye. Bye. As soon as Leonardo left, Robio came. Robio, how did you find me? Chen Zhao stared at him in shock. I know Ethan. Even if you know Ethan, he won't give my address to anybody, especially a stranger. Chen Zhao furrowed his brows. He'd agreed for Robio to come see Walter, but he didn't expect the man to suddenly burst into his home. I'm his son. What? Chen Zhao was floored. Robio was Ethan's son? How come I've never heard him mention you before? That old stubborn man won't ever admit that his son's gay. Okay, you want to see Walter? Yes. I need to be sure that you're not abusing him. Walter, come. Walter ran out with an open mouth. Seeing Robio, it flew up and pounced. Robio was huge, but he almost lost his balance. Walter? Oh my God. You look great. Robio hugged Walter. He could barely recognize her. How could Walter become so energetic in one night? Chun, has Walter recovered? No. You know that cancer can't be cured. I'm only a traditional Chinese doctor. I can only make it not be tormented by sickness in its short life. Seems like I didn't make a mistake in giving Walter to you. He looks like he really did recover, though. Robio knew that it wasn't possible, but seeing Walter's vigor, he was still very happy. I need to get to work. Bye, Chun. I won't come without any warning next time. I'll let you know beforehand. Goodbye. Where's Walter? Robio, you're here just in time. You were working last night, right? Where's Walter? I searched the entire headquarters, but I can't find it. Looking at Feilai, who was going crazy, Robio's face twitched. Feilai, Walter won't appear again. What do you mean? I helped him pass on. What are you saying? I helped you do what you didn't dare to do, Robio said seriously. No. I don't believe you. You'd never do that. You value Walter even more than I do. It's impossible for you to do that. No, I value Walter more, but I'm also in greater pain than you. I hope that he can have a better destination instead of being tormented by endless pain. Chapter 57. What a Small World. Chapter 57. What a Small World. For the entire day, the atmosphere in the coastal rescue team was very tense. Although people were still doing their work, there was almost no conversation, especially for Robio and Feilai. Everyone knew what had happened. Of course, nobody knew whether what Robio had done was right or wrong. Feilai, we should talk? There's nothing to talk, you murderer. Feilai stared at Robio with great resentment. Feilai, you need to understand that the longer Walter lives for, the more he will suffer. I have already found a way to heal him. If I had just a bit more time, just a bit, I could have healed him. You're a murderer. You killed Walter. Robio did not know whether to laugh or cry. Feilai, wake up. No, I'm telling the truth. There's someone who can heal Walter. If I find the person, it will definitely work. Fine. Where's the person you're talking about? I don't know. My sister's a doctor. 2 of her patients have late-stage cancer, but now they're all discharged from the hospital. Moreover, one of them has healed completely. I heard that a mysterious person has treated them, and I have been trying to find that person for the whole of yesterday. So did you find him? No. For said that she only knows that person is an Asian called Chen. Robio was momentarily stunned. Are you sure? For told me that. Do you remember that the doctor yesterday was also an Asian called Chen? So what? Do you think that cold-blooded guy is the person I'm looking for? Also, even if I find him now, what can I do? Walter's already dead. It's never coming back. Robio turned around and left in silence. Was Walter cured? Did Chen heal it? Robio was somewhat suspicious about Feilai's words. What is cancer? Everyone in the world knows that it is an incurable disease. Perhaps he should confirm everything again. Robio walked to a corner and called Chen Zhao. Qian. Yes? Did you heal Walter of his disease? Robio, are you ill? That's a weird thing to say. Chen, I heard that you've cured cancer in the past. Nonsense. Who said that? Hearing Chen Zhao's denial, Robio was even more doubtful of what Feilai had said. Robio, I'm applying for leave. Feilai walked behind Robio, shocking him out of his wits. Are you still unable to get over it? No. I've promised that we must find that person. There's about 1 million Asians in Los Angeles. How are you going to find him? One of the patients that the mysterious person has cured is For's teacher. I think she's called Wright, a college professor. Robio was puzzled once again. Right? College professor? It can't be that coincidental. Robio's great-grandmother was also a college professor called Wright. If it was really his great-grandmother, then he had really failed as a great-grandson. He did not know about it at all. Robio took out his phone. Hey, Wright. Robio, how long has it been since you last visited me? Both you and your dad don't care about me at all. I'm sorry, Wright. Self-blame could be heard in Robio's words. Right, I heard that you have. Cancer? Did Ethan tell you that? How are you now? I'm teaching now. Let's talk later. Wright hung up. Wright was clearly avoiding the topic. She was happy when she first received the call, but she hung up immediately when Robio asked her about her cancer. Could it be that she's really cured? 4. Why are you here? Professor, I want to talk about that again. 4. You need to understand that if that person doesn't want to admit it, nobody can force him to, including you and me. At least you should give me his contact. I believe that I can convince him. 4. I can't give you his number without his consent. I can help you to ask him, and I'll respect his decision. This was not the first time Wright had answered 4 in this way. Clearly, 4 was unable to accept such an outcome. Professor, you're a doctor too. Do you not want such knowledge to be spread to the entire world? 4. I understand you, but have you thought about this? What if his technique can't be spread? Do you know how much trouble this will cause him? I only know that if I don't try anything, it'll be really irresponsible. But now you're invading his privacy. I'm doing this for countless patients. That's not a reason. I feel that the countless patients in the world are more important. Then I think you should go and convince those pharmaceutical companies. They have the formulas and have monopolized the entire market. If they can release the formulas, more people will be saved. I still have another lesson. I need to leave now. After speaking, Wright turned around and left. 4 was somewhat frustrated, but also helpless. 4. How about we let it go? No, I'm not going to give up. Do you want those whom you love die one after another? He's already dead. Oh, I'm sorry, Phalai. It's fine. Perhaps to him, death is fortunate. At least he doesn't have to suffer anymore. Chun Zhao brought his entire family to Ethan's place for free food. Even Blackie was here. Chun, you have already moved out. Why are you still coming here everything for breakfast? Your breakfast is super delicious. Look at how fast Walter's eating. Walter? It's the same name as the legend of the Coastal Rescue Team. Wait, is it the same dog? They couldn't save him, but I did. Now he's mine. Bastard. It's seducing my Sasha. Ethan suddenly roared. Walter, nice. The first time Beelzebub saw Sasha, it also wanted to mount her. The same thing was happening with Walter. Is your entire family made up of this kind of bastard? Woof woof. Beelzebub was furious. It was obviously Raymond's fault, not his. Out of a sudden, Raymond, who had been coiled up on the chair, attacked Beelzebub without any warning. The snake and the dog started grappling with each other again. Ethan was already long used to it. Chun, can you train Sasha until she's as clever as your pets? No problem. $10,000 and I promise Sasha's even smarter than you. Only a fool will spend $10,000 to make his pet smarter than himself. To Beelzebub, being plotted by Raymond that time was the most humiliating thing in his whole demon life. Ethan still envied Chen Zhao and his pets. That was also why he had adopted Sasha. However, Sasha was not nearly as clever as Beelzebub and the rest. In fact, even the new member Walter was better. To most people, raising a pet involves much emotions. Even if a person's pet is not as good as someone else's, it is still his pet after all. Regardless of what he says, he would still feel that his pet is the best. Suddenly, a spiritless Asian woman walked in and asked in a choppy tone, "May I ask if you still have a room available?" Chapter 58, Countrymate in Despair. Chapter 58, Countrymate in Despair. Of course. Ethan looked at the woman. Do you have an ID card? A driver's license is okay too. I have an ID card. The Asian woman dug around in her pockets. Chun Zhao and Ethan could see that the woman's pockets were filled with scraps of change. After a while, she finally found her ID. Just as she was about to hand it to Ethan, she shrunk back. How much will it cost to stay here for a night? $10, Ethan said. Then I'll stay for 2 nights for now. The woman managed to find enough change to add up to 20 and gave it to Ethan. Qing Li? Li Qing? Chen Zhao looked at the name on the ID. Auntie, are you from China? The woman looked at him. You're Chinese too? Yeah. How long have you been out here? Since she had an ID card, she'd probably been in America for quite some time. 8 years. Oh, young man, what is your name? I'm Chun Zhao. He's my friend Ethan. Hi, Ethan greeted. Hello, hello. It was evident that even though the woman had been here for a while, she still wasn't used to the customs and ways of Americans. She probably didn't interact with people often. Auntie, are you on vacation here in LA? No, I don't have anywhere to stay, so? Did something happen to you? I immigrated with my son and daughter-in-law. Our lives were great, but a while ago, they died in a car accident. Now I'm all alone. The house was foreclosed too. As she spoke, she began to wipe at her eyes. Chun, can you guys speak English? Ethan muttered. Leaving me alone like this is really impolite. Auntie, if your son and daughter-in-law died in an accident, wouldn't the insurance company pay you? The woman shook her head. They didn't buy a lot of insurance. It wasn't even enough to compensate for the damages of the other party. So her son and daughter-in-law had been at fault. Chun Zhao sympathized with the woman, but sympathizing was one thing. He wouldn't give her money for no reason. They weren't familiar with each other, after all. So what do you do now? I don't have anything to do. I'm looking now. Ethan, do you need servers or custodians? Chun Zhao asked. You recommend her? If you think she's suitable, Chun Zhao said. They were countrymates, after all, and this was all Chun Zhao could do. Ethan had a dozen rooms here, but he didn't have any staff or custodians. This was why Chun Zhao thought it was necessary for Ethan to hire one. Of course, whether the woman was willing to do it was another matter. Okay, but I need to observe you. What's your name? Li Qing. Qing meaning clear. Annie Li, Chun Zhao said. If you need a job, you can stay here for now and do some chores for Ethan. Of course, if you have other plans, then just pretend I didn't say anything. Sure, I'll do it. I just need a place to stay and food to eat. The trial period is 7 days. You won't get paid for those 7 days, but I can give you free board and meals. If I'm satisfied with you after the week, I'll give you $30 per day during the off-season and $50 per day during the busy season. You only have to clean up the rooms for me at noon. After you're done, you can do whatever you want with your time. You can find another part-time too. Okay, I understand. Thank you, and you too, little brother. Chun Zhao roughly calculated the time. Li Qing was working an hourly job. With the occupancy rate of Ethan's motel, she could clean up all the rooms in around 2 hours. $30 for 2 hours was good money. Many temporary jobs wouldn't even have such a high wage. Each state in America has different minimum wages. In LA, it was $10 per hour. Li, go rest today. You'll start working tomorrow. Thank you. After Li Qing left, Ethan said, Chun, I'm helping her because of you, but I need to check her background first. The so-called trial period was just time for Ethan to investigate her. But I'm confused why you would voluntarily help a woman. Chun Zhao looked at Li Qing, who'd walked up the stairs. If I didn't help her, she might die in your motel. When people were in despair, the first thing they would think of was death. Blackie had seen this woman's death. 2 days later, Li Qing would be at the end of her rope and she would choose to die in this motel. That was why Chun Zhao helped her. Because of this small gesture, she wouldn't die anymore. Ethan was superstitious. He also believed that Chun Zhao had supernatural abilities. Hearing Chun Zhao's words, his expression changed. Just then, Chun Zhao's phone rang. Hello? Rasfa, what do you want? The second treatment isn't this soon. No, Chun. It's not about the treatment. Remember how the party couldn't be held because of Daniel? I hope you can come this time. Ever since Daniel's legs grew back out, Rasfa's impression of Chun Zhao had changed completely. Chun Zhao was someone who could determine his life or death and even decide how long he lived. Rasfa hoped he could maintain a close relationship with Chun Zhao and make up for his past mistakes. Can I bring a friend with? Of course. Your friend is my friend. What time? Tonight. Then I'll see you tonight. See you tonight. Ethan, there's a party. Let's go together. I'm not going. I don't know them. It's in Beverly Hills. Maybe you can get with some actresses. Actresses? Ethan was already starting to drool. Looking at Ethan's face, Chun Zhao lost all hope on him getting an actress. Unless the actresses all went blind. Ethan, you need to rent a suit. Huh, I have to rent a suit? That's too annoying. If you want to score anything at the party tonight. Fine. Ethan's features twitched. Renting a nicer suit would cost $100 or $200 per day. It wasn't a small price. However, if he really could get with an actress, this kind of sacrifice was worth it. Lee, watch this place for tonight. I'll give you $50. Boss, I'm afraid I can't do it well. It's okay. If they give you money, you give them a room. It's simple. I don't know English. It's okay. They don't need an ID either. They just need to pay. Then, okay. I'll call you if there's anything I don't understand. Chapter 59. Hooking Up. Chapter 59. Hooking Up. Ethan tidied himself up, covering his unkempt appearance, which was a rare sight. Then, Chun Zhao and Ethan went to a clothing store together. However, when the two entered the store, the clerk still looked at the two with some disgust. Of course, it was mainly targeted at Ethan. Miss, can you help my friend to pick a formal wear? He has a party tonight. Sure. Please come here. Do you need anything? Nope. Chen, do you not need one? Aren't you going too? We're different. How? I'm more handsome than you. Under the guidance of the clerk, Ethan started trying various suits. On the other hand, Chen Zhao was somewhat bored. He sat in the shop and looked around casually. Finally, Chun Zhao's eyes locked onto a young and charming female clerk. She was slim and was wearing a loose casual wear and shorts. Chun Zhao had to admit that ladies working in clothing stores really knew how to match their clothes. Miss, may I know your name? The female clerk smiled politely. No. Although America was an open-minded society, not everyone was open-minded. At the very least, this beautiful female clerk did not answer Chun Zhao's question. She was clearly different from the women that Chun Zhao had already known. Then can you get a coffee with me if I manage to guess your name? Try it. The female clerk clearly did not believe that Chun Zhao could guess her name. Are you Chris Ackerman? How do you know? It's on the tag on your chest. Do you often use this method to deceive other girls? No. I've just learned it from the internet. Seems useful. Not useful at all. Are you going back on your word? You didn't guess it, Chris said, smiling. Do you know where I'm from? Asia. Where in Asia? I don't know. Japan? China? Or Korea? China. Do you know that Chinese people have a very special ability? What? Precognition. I don't believe in prophecy. No. It's precognition, not prophecy. Is there a difference? For example, you can write a word or phrase on your palm. I will know what you've written without looking. I still don't believe it. What if I guess it correctly? Will you drink coffee with me? After thinking, Chris nodded. All right. Then let's start. Turn around and don't peep. After Chun Zhao turned around, Chris took her pen and started writing. Done. You can guess it now. I'm Chun Zhao. You can call me Chun, Chun Zhao said with a faint smile on his face. Didn't I? Chris was first stunned, and then she looked at the words on her hand. What's your name? Chun Zhao actually answered her question directly. She could not understand how he had managed to do it. How did you know? I said that I know precognition. I don't believe it. Let's try again. Okay. Chris wrote something else, after which he said, Done? Guess it. I'm single now. You. Can you really precognize things? Haha. Tell me, do you really have precognition ability? There's a saying in China. It exists if you believe it and doesn't if you don't. It's just like religion. If you believe in God, then he's really there. But if you don't, then he's not there. I'm not discussing philosophy with you. One of my electives in college included philosophy. I need a precise answer. In the world of magic, you can't tell the secrets of your magic to others. So are you a magician? No, I'm a doctor. This is my name card. You can call me when you need something. Most of the time I'll be free. You haven't answered my question. Girl, Don't be deceived by him. He's a spiritualist. Perhaps there's a soul beside you monitoring you for him. Ethan had already walked out with a suit. Chun Zhao's face darkened. That's ugly. Even the most expensive clothes cannot cover your dirty temperament, but I think we're done here. After all, that beautiful clerk must be tired of wasting any more time on you. The female clerk who had been with Ethan was indeed starting to feel impatient and awkward. It was really too painful to choose formal wear for Ethan. Even the best jacket looked ordinary on Ethan. Chun, I feel that you've brought me here to humiliate me. Ethan was enraged. Actually, it's not that bad either. Don't you think so too, ladies? Chun Zhao had to comfort Ethan. The female clerk beside Ethan gave an awkward smile. Yes, it's not bad. See? You do look quite handsome. During the party tonight, the ladies will definitely be charmed by you. Really? Yes, of course. Fine. I take your word for now. Is it really good to lie to your friend like this? I'm giving him confidence. If he doesn't even have confidence in himself, he'll certainly not get anything during the party tonight. But even if he is confident, are you sure that he can successfully hook up any woman? Chris asked, looking at Chen Zhao. Perhaps his success rate will increase from 0% to 1%? If you're not the best friends, then you must be the greatest enemies. Chris, look at how in sync we are. Can you give me your number? Maybe we can get a coffee together. Sorry, I already have a boyfriend and we're engaged. My boyfriend doesn't like me going out with other men. Chun Zhao was very disappointed. Indeed, all good women had been deceived by awful men. Chun Zhao could only shrug his shoulders helplessly. Of course, unmarried women were his target. However, it was too immoral to steal another person's girlfriend, not to mention that it would usually fail despite putting in much effort. The clerk beside Ethan walked up and asked, Handsome, I'm free. Do you want my number? Of course. It's my pleasure. Chun Zhao did not reject any offer. After all, this clerk was not too bad either. After leaving the store, Ethan started complaining all the way. Chun Zhao did not spend a single penny and managed to hook up with a beautiful clerk. On the other hand, Ethan spent $200 to rent the suit, and yet the female clerk only looked at him in disgust. Chun, I want the clerk's number. If you want her number, ask yourself. Don't ask me, Chun Zhao rejected without mercy. If you don't even have the courage to open your mouth, even if I give you her number, you wouldn't have the courage to call her. Chen, you have so many pets with you, and also your toolbox. Are you sure you're going for a party? Leave them at home, and they'll demolish my newly furnished house. As for the toolbox, it's an occupational habit. Chapter 60, Absurd Party 1. Chapter 60, Absurd Party 1. When Chen Zhao brought Ethan into Rasva's manor, it was like bringing a country bumpkin into the city. Chun Zhao got secondhand embarrassment, even though he'd had a similar expression the first time he came to. However, he felt like he'd seen the world. How come he was with someone like Ethan now? Ethan, don't be so embarrassing. How am I embarrassing? What I'm expressing now is the curiosity that everyone has. If a professor said that, I wouldn't find it weird. But coming from you, it just feels wrong. By now, Daniel had come over. He'd heard earlier that his grandpa was going to hold a party and that Chen Zhao would attend, so he came over early. Chen, you're here? Daniel, your color looks good. This is my friend Ethan. Hello. Daniel also put on an enthusiastic expression. However, being a rich family's son, this kind of smile was just out of politeness. They wouldn't reveal their inner feelings to anyone. There was just some distance in their eyes. However, Daniel didn't show any distance on the surface. Let's go. We'll have fun on the beach first. It's still early. As he spoke, Daniel patted Ethan's shoulder. Do you dare go into the sea? No. He had to admit that what had happened had heavily traumatized him. He knew that there was very little chance of it happening again, but he was just scared. He didn't dare to go into the water. On the beach, there were many young girls playing beach volleyball. Walter was the most excited about coming back to the beach. He ran into the crowd and helped the people fetch the ball. Chun, you got another pet? What's it called? Walter. Sell one to me. I'll give you any price. If you can win over any of them, I'll give it to you for free. Whatever. I'm not a druid. Daniel, are there any rules here? Ethan's eyes were dazed. Seeing all these hot bikini-clad girls on the beach, his heart was burning. Daniel laughed. As long as it's voluntary, you can do whatever you want. Ethan was overjoyed. Carrie, come to Uncle. Carrie turned her head arrogantly, making Ethan feel awkward. Is it looking down on me? It must be. Carrie, help Ethan. You've eaten his hamburgers before. Smiling, Chun Zhao handed Carrie to Ethan. Ethan happily carried Carrie and ran into the crowd. Carrie was filled with cuteness. She would become the center of women's attention no matter where she went. No one would reject such an adorable little thing, and Ethan actually did look like a successful man right now. As expected, he attracted a crowd of people as soon as he went over. Beautiful young girls gathered around him. Hi, can I hug the little thing in your arms? Ethan looked at all the boobs before his eyes and subtly wiped his mouth. Of course. No problem. Wow, its fur is so soft. What kind of dog is it? No, it's not a dog. It's a rare white fox. Her name is Carrie. She's a girl. Carrie had a bad temper, but she was obedient. She listened to Chen Zhao. What does your friend do? What do you think he does? A loser. Is it obvious? Chen Zhao looked over at Ethan. He can probably fool those little girls if he can make up an alias. Aren't they your friends? No, my grandpa invited them, Daniel said nonchalantly. They're all models from a modeling company or actresses with no good opportunities. They're here for opportunities, not for the party itself. What opportunities? To flirt with young rich guys like you? They're not interested in me. Maybe a few like my money, but they're probably more interested in those producers and directors or investors. Just then, Rasfa and Steven walked over and sat right down in the sand. Chun, when did you get here? I can't believe you came to look at girls instead of visiting us two in the mansion. You two old guys are nothing compared to girls, Chun said with disgust. Grandpa, Uncle Steven, Chun, I have some other friends coming. I'll come back later. Daniel clearly didn't want to be with his grandpa and Steven, so he found an excuse to leave first. Steven, you look like you're going a bit overboard these days. It's because your treatment is so effective. Steven had really recovered his energy. The more one missed his past, the wilder one would go. Steven was like that. Plus, as a major director, he could have any girl he wanted. My treatment will only recover your functions in that aspect. It won't make your stamina go back to when you were young. Don't go too crazy if you don't want to die too soon. I do want to watch some of your movies. Fine, I understand. Steven felt awkward too. Chun, should I get some girls for you later? Rasfa asked, a bit fawningly. I promise they'll be the most beautiful ones. Rasfa, you're just a dick, Steven said with derision. But I think your thoughts are unneeded. Look at those girls. They can't look away after seeing us sit with Chun. However, the girls knew their places. At least, they wouldn't come over now. Chun, when is my next treatment? Last time, Rasfa said you're filming a movie now. You probably don't have time, right? Is it different from the last time? About the same, but it'll take 2 hours. Do you have the time? Can you come on set? It's in LA too. Sure. Contact me in a few days. Is that fat guy your friend? Yeah, my first friend after coming to America. Should I arrange something for him? Chen Zhao thought for a moment and then nodded. If that's okay. Ethan had no luck with girls. Maybe he checked all the boxes for repelling the opposite sex. If he kept using his current way of flirting, it would be impossible. However, this was no different from prostitution. No, there was definitely a difference. The girls here were classier. Steven stood up and walked into the group of girls. Seeing him come, all their eyes practically gleamed. He was one of the 3 top Hollywood directors. All of his movies had guaranteed box offices. No one who wanted to make a name for themselves in Hollywood could look over him. Girls, are you having fun chatting with my friend? Steven patted Ethan's shoulder as if they were old friends. Chapter 61, Absurd Party 2. Chapter 61, Absurd Party 2. After sunset, guests arrived one after another. The party also started officially. Nevertheless, even in the party itself, there were many small gangs. Those who knew each other grouped up. Many ladies were also playing near the swimming pool. In the American society, party has always been an essential social occasion. It is just like how Chinese people like to talk about business over a meal. Chun Zhao had no idea where Ethan had gone to. He stared at Zola, who also looked back at him. Today, Zola was dressed up carefully. Her entire body was emitting a noble and elegant temperament. Chun, Zola, I thought that you wouldn't come today. I was busy in the company, so I'm late. How about a drink together? Zola gave Chun Zhao a glass of wine, after which she gently tapped Chun Zhao's glass with her own. Chun Zhao felt that she had been spending the time on makeup instead. It's too noisy here. Let's go somewhere quiet. Warmth after the battle. After a while, Zola sat on the bed and lighted herself a stick of cigarette. Do you want one? Nope. My addiction isn't strong. Chun Zhao also smoked, but only rarely. Chun, you have a girlfriend? No. Do you need me to introduce one to you? Don't worry. It'll be a good girl. Nope. A woman who was having such a relationship with Chun Zhao wanted to introduce a girlfriend to him. Which man in the world would be able to happily accept this? Only fools would accept such a suggestion. At least Chun Zhao was not stupid enough to believe that Zola was really going to introduce a good girlfriend to him. You're too alert. I really don't need one. Perhaps I will in the future, but now I'm not ready for a stable relationship yet. I'm just worried that you've got nowhere to spend your energy. I still have you. Chun Zhao pulled Zola's arm. Do you still want it? I feel that I didn't perform well just now, so I'm going to make up for it. It was another tiring and satisfying round. Only then, Zola put her clothes back on. Do you want to meet my friends? Perhaps they will become your clients next time. No, I need some rest. All right, if you need me later, I'll be in the lobby. Soon after Zola had left, Chun Zhao started putting on his clothes, when a lady suddenly rushed into the room in a hurry. Chun Zhao was familiar with the lady, or rather the lady's body. It was Yafan, the small actress. Chen, I didn't expect to see you here. Yafan, are you also here for the party? Yafan was not really bothered by Chun Zhao's nakedness. It was not the first time she saw it anyway. Yafan glanced at the room. Wait, I'll talk with you later. Then, she charged into the restroom. After a minute, Yafan walked out with a relaxed expression. Chun, why did you put your clothes back on? Air. If you need it, I can remove them again. Yafan locked the door from inside, then loosed them. Before Chun Zhao could say anything, Yafan already leapt towards him. Chun, why are you here? Yafan's skin had an abnormal redness. Have you been injecting cholesterol recently? It's bad for you. Too much cholesterol will destroy your bodily functions. I no longer need it. Did you pass the audition? No, I failed. I lost to a bitch. In fact, Yafan was not mad about her competitor sleeping with the director, but the fact that she was slower. Why did you come to this party? To find new opportunities. You know that I'm only a small actress. I need more roles that people can remember. Have you found it? No, I'm not the only woman here. The owner has invited many women. I'm not the prettiest of them, and every valuable target already has many. Yafan lied before Chun Zhao. How about you? Why are you here? The owner is my client. So he's Rasfa's personal doctor. Yafan was somewhat disappointed. She had originally thought that Chun Zhao and Rasfa had some secret relationships. In that case, she would be happy to donate her body. Unfortunately, a mere personal doctor was clearly not useful to her. Yafan had no intention to stay for any longer. After finishing with Chun Zhao, she left the room in a hurry. To be honest, she was just like a high-class social butterfly. Before she successfully becomes famous, she could only obtain various roles through such methods. She did have an agency to help her, but the agency would only arrange insignificant roles for her. Yafan was a clear-headed woman. She knew that it was time for her to work hard. She was not like most new actresses who stepped into Hollywood uncertain of the situation. She knew how difficult her journey was and also what she had to pay. Those glamorous Hollywood stars might have even more cruel and embarrassing past than Yafin before they became popular. Chun Zhao left the room only to hear Yafin arguing with someone else. Turning around the corner, he saw Yafin stopped by a man who was in his 30s. Chun Zhao walked up directly. "Yafin, do you need help?" The man raised his head and looked at Chun Zhao. "Mister, you have no business here. Please leave." Yafin frowned. "Chun, go first." "I'm fine." Chun Zhao did not leave and still stood there. "Are you sure?" Yafin seemed to be in a difficult position. The man said, "Can you not understand English?" Scram. However, Chun Zhao simply ignored the man and only stared at Yafin. "Yafin, tell me if you're in trouble." The man's hands were suspiciously hidden behind Yafin. Chun Zhao could tell what he was doing without looking. Yafin hesitated for a while. Finally, she plucked up the courage to escape from the man's hands. "Chun, let's go." "Yafin, if you dare to leave now, I can guarantee that you're never going to receive another role," the man threatened, his face darkening. Chapter 62, Absurd Party 3. Chapter 62, Absurd Party 3. Yafin stopped. She was frozen in her spot. Clearly, she couldn't ignore this man's threat. "Bob, are you threatening my friends?" Just then, a baritone voice sounded. Stephen appeared behind the man called Bob. Bob's expression went stiff and then shrunk back. "Mr. Stephen, I'm sorry. I didn't know they're your friends." With that, Bob turned and slipped away in disgrace. "Chun, who is this beautiful lady beside you?" Stephen walked over with a smile as if nothing had happened. "Hello, Mr. Stephen. I'm Yafin." Yafin immediately had a fangirl's expression. She looked at Stephen with admiration. As expected of an actress, Yafin's expression was just right. She was excited and her eyes were reverent, but not overly so. "Hello, are you an actress?" "Yes, I'm from Anthony Management." "Oh, I'm filming a movie recently. There's a third female lead. Miss Yafin, you can audition for it if you're willing." "Really? Thank you." In Hollywood, most actors knew what company was filming what. Especially for a big director like Stephen, one could say that everyone knew that he was filming a super great movie. Every speaking role was fought over by every management company. The biggest role Yafin had played before was in a TV show. She played a character that only lived for half an episode. She'd never even dreamed that she could receive Stephen's invitation to play the third female lead in a Class A movie. It was only an audition, but since Stephen had said it, this role would be hers if she performed well. "Miss Yafin, would you mind if I speak to Chen?" Of course. Yafin knew when to leave. It was obvious that Stephen had a close relationship with Chen Zhao. Yafin knew that she was probably invited to the audition because of Chen Zhao too. She voluntarily bid farewell to Stephen. Of course, she didn't forget Chen Zhao either. "Chun, how's your relationship with that woman?" "Not bad, but not as close as you think. If you change the requirements for the role because of me to give it to her, it's unnecessary. Of course, if that role suits her, I'll thank you for her. It's not actually that important, around 10 minutes or so of screen time. After editing, it probably won't even be 10 minutes. It won't affect the core of the movie at all." "Oh, right. What's with that, Bob?" "He's a well-known pervert producer in the circle. The girls that he plays with all have irreversible scars and psychological trauma, so not every woman is willing to have sex with him." This explained it. Bob seemed to be pretty influential. Logically, Yafin shouldn't have rejected him. However, she still did because Bob was a pervert. He won't threaten Yafin's future, right? He's a smart man. That's good. "Chun, how did you connect Daniel's leg back?" Chun, don't hide it from me. I know about Daniel's injury that day. I know that his leg was amputated too." "All right, it was me. You don't have that kind of needs, right?" "I don't know, but that doesn't mean I or people around me won't in the future. I hope that if I ask you for help one day, you'll remember that we're friends and help me." America valued relationships even more than in China. Take Hollywood as an example. Many profitable projects took investments from familiar people or companies. Outsider money was rarely able to enter Hollywood, no matter the sum. I can only that I'll try my best. I'm not all-powerful. At least, I can't bring the dead back to life. Of course, I understand. Just then, Paul walked over from the back. Mr. Chun, Mr. Stephen, Rasfa invites you two to the secret room. There was a secret room? Mr. Rasfa is inside. Please enter. It was the rear room on the 3rd floor. When Qian Zhao pushed the door open, he saw naked girls under the dim light. Rasfa was lying in the arms of 2 girls. There was another one under him. Chun, Stephen, come on. A few girls were already approaching them to take off their clothes. This was too lowly, but Chun Zhao couldn't ignore the temptation. He looked at the 2 old guys and then at himself. Yes, he definitely had more baggage. The secret room was fully equipped. There was a 3x3 swimming pool filled with red wine. Che Zhao leaned against the side of the pool and girls served him voluntarily. I really don't know what you're saying. I am sure that I only gave Wright a cup of water and nothing else. I was an accident, doctor. It's probably because I'm not professional enough. Right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have given you water while you were unconscious. Sir, don't you know that your medicine can save millions upon millions of lives? Please use your pretty head and think a bit. If I really have some special medicine that can cure cancer, would I be kicked out of a motel because I can't pay the rent? Ethan, is that true? Wright glared at Ethan. Bastard. Chun, stop the bullshit. You moved away yourself. I didn't kick you out. I even helped you move. Ethan, don't cause a scene here. Wright, please rest up. We'll go now. Go. Professor. No need. He doesn't want to talk. Chin, you clearly gave her some black drug? Chun, did you really save my granny? No. You remembered incorrectly, Chun Zhao insisted. He was basically speaking nonsense. Chan, I know you must have used some witchcraft, but the result is good, so I don't care no matter what trick you used. Thank you for saving my granny. Don't think crazily like that. I didn't do anything. Okay, I'm tired. Jerlin, can you drive me home? Jerlin had been a bit angry, but she still gave in. She could feel that there was a reason why Qin Zhao couldn't reveal the truth. However, she was sure that Qin Zhao had cured Wright. He didn't admit it, and the whole thing sounded crazy, but it was the truth. After all, she'd seen it with her own eyes. Chapter 63. Remember your protection when you play outside. Chapter 63. Remember your protection when you play outside. The next day, Chun Zhao was awakened by Ethan. Qin Zhao did not drink too much, but he had played late into the night. Thus, he slept all the way until noon. Chun, if there's such a party next time, remember to bring me again. Ethan's face was still somewhat red, perhaps due to a hangover. Ethan had also gone to many parties, but not one organized by people who were that rich. Their playstyle had overturned his imagination. Ethan did not even know himself how many women he had played with. Ethan, you wore condoms yesterday, right? They don't look like they have any diseases. Do I need to? Qin Zhao rolled his eyes. You can't tell if they have a disease by looking. Even I have to wear condoms, not to mention you. Remember, apart from your wife, you must wear one when you have sex with a woman. All right, I will remember it. Ethan did not look like he took Qin Zhao's advice seriously. Just then, Li Qing walked in with some food. Mr. Ethan, Mr. Chun. Put it on the table. 1 hour later, clean this room up. Yes, Mr. Ethan. I should go back now. Don't contact me even if there's a client. I need to rest for today. I don't understand why you moved away. Isn't it good here? You wouldn't have to keep traveling here and there. Because I need to pay you if I stay here, but you need to pay rent there as well, and it's even more expensive. You also had to furnish your new house. At least the furniture belongs to me. Fine. Whatever floats your boat. How's that woman? Who? You mean Li? She's very diligent. I would have married her if I haven't married already in the past. Do you have a wife now? I don't want to marry again precisely because I had before. Just then, Chun Zhao's phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. Hello, you're? Chun, it's me, Yafin. I'm not feeling well. Are you free? Of course. Are you home? I'll go there now. Okay. See you in 30 minutes. Didn't you just say that you're not seeing any clients today? It's a female client. Indeed, a beautiful actress. Damn, you're so lucky, Ethan cursed. Has Paul sent your car back? Drive me there. Bastard, I'm not your personal driver. In the end, Ethan still drove Chun Zhao to Beverly Hills. Chun Zhao walked into Yafin's house. She was still beside the swimming pool. Yafin was half naked and had a pair of sunglasses on. At the moment, she was lying on a lounger. Yafin, how can I help you? Yafin removed her sunglasses. Licking her lips, she stared at Chun Zhao. I'm yours today, Chun. Come. Yafin was repaying Chun Zhao. She had just gone for audition that morning and successfully obtained the role. Although it was only a supporting role, the movie was a blockbuster after all. Only a few such movies would be released every year. Among actresses similar to Yafin, there was intense competition even for roles with simple dialogues. This was the best role that Yafin had obtained so far. After one round, the two rested in the pool. Chun, are you very close to Mr. Steven? Just average. He's also my client. Actually, I didn't help you too much. It means a lot to me. Chun Zhao grabbed Yafin's slim waist. Her boldness and enthusiasm made him totally addicted. Let's go into the room. The two switched their battleground and started another round of combat. In her moaning, Yafin muttered, Chun, you're so great. What can a woman say to a man to best flatter his vanity? This is it. However, it is a common saying that there are only bulls which are overexerted and no fields which are overplowed. Chun Zhao was precisely in such a state. After a few rounds, in addition to the fun time the previous day which he had yet to recover from, Chun Zhao could hardly straighten his back. Stay here tonight? No, I really should leave. I still have a patient later, Chun Zhao said, his face pale. If I stay here for one more night, I'll really become a dry corpse, Chun Zhao thought. All right, be careful on your way. Chun Zhao had already called Vincent. Soon, the car arrived at the entrance. Chun, that woman's excellent. How did you manage to hook up with her? Vincent glanced at Yafin, who was standing at the gates. Just drive your car. Looks like you were almost dried out by that woman. Ignoring Vincent's tease, Chun Zhao leaned quietly on the rear seat. His demons were still in the motel, so he had to go there first to pick them up. In an ordinary apartment, Chris just returned from work when she saw her boyfriend walking out from their house. Nance, are you going out? Yes, Nance nodded. Nance, you're already tired from work. Why don't you rest at home? Noticing the obvious dark circles under her boyfriend's eyes, Chris was somewhat worried. I have something going on. Nance's reply was rather cold. Okay, do you need me to accompany you? Nope. Without even turning his head, Nance got into his car directly. Staring at the leaving car, Chris frowned deeply. For some reason, she felt that Nance had changed. Since they were engaged, or rather since they moved there, Nance's actions had become strange. In the past, Nance had been a very sunny person. Chris had decided to entrust her entire life to Nance precisely because of his optimism and cheerfulness. However, since they moved here, Nance became somewhat gloomy. Moreover, she had received calls from Nance's colleague who asked her if something had happened to Nance at home. For a few times already, Nance had become furious for no reason and even fought with others. More creepily, Chris noticed that Nance's behavior recently was becoming weirder. Sometimes, she would mysteriously wake up at night and see Nance sitting alone near the window and holding a mirror, as if he was talking to someone. Nance was also becoming increasingly dull, as if he had become a totally different person. He would get angry for no reason and was very cold towards her. Chris felt extremely uneasy. She had thought about finding a psychologist for Nance, but he did not accept it. Instead, he said that Chris was behaving ridiculously. Chris suddenly felt that she had to understand what was happening to Nance. She also turned around and got in her own car to tail Nance. Chris had thought of many possibilities. She suspected that Nance might have another girlfriend outside, or have been addicted to something bad, or perhaps have gotten himself into trouble. However, whatever the reason might be, she had to figure it out. Chapter 64, Paranormal Activity. Chapter 64, Paranormal Activity. Chris drove behind Nance, staying about 60 to 70 feet away. There weren't many cars on the road, but Nance didn't notice her following him. Looking at Nance through the window, it could be seen that he was talking to someone while driving. He kept moving toward the shotgun seat, and his mouth seemed to be moving. Was there someone there? There shouldn't be one. At least, she couldn't see anyone from the back. It wasn't possible unless the person wasn't as tall as the seat or was a kid. This was impossible, though. She'd been following Nance the entire time, but Nance never stopped. No one came on midway either. Nance's behavior was just very strange. Suddenly, a car from the other direction drove past with far headlights. When the lights shone over, Chris felt her vision blurring. The next moment, she saw a woman's figure sitting beside Nance. The woman turned and looked at Chris. How is there a woman in Nance's car? Chris looked again, but she was gone. Did she see it wrong? Or was she blocked by the seat again? Chris felt unsettled. A bad feeling shrouded her heart. Where's the car? Where did it go? Whoosh. Suddenly, Chris heard breathing behind her. Light flashed in her rearview mirror, and there seemed to be a woman sitting in the back seat. Chris twisted the steering wheel in fear. Thud. The car crashed and Chris' forehead started bleeding. Thankfully, she hadn't been driving fast and it didn't cause a car accident. However, she'd run into the taxi in the other lane. Damn it. Get out of the car, asshole. You know how to drive? Hearing the angry roars, Chris could only unbuckle her seatbelt. When she saw the taxi driver, she said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. How much is it? I'll pay you. I knew it's a woman driver, Vincent yelled, gesticulating madly. You dented my car door. $300. Chris was pissed. If you want $300 just for that scratch, why don't you go rob a bank instead? She thought. No way am I giving you $300. I'll give you $100 at most. You know that it'll cost $100 just to go into the repair shop? Don't drive on the road if you can't pay. You scratched my car last time. You might run someone over next time, you know? Vincent's words were too infuriating. Anger burned inside Chris. She'd already been close to losing control of her emotions and broke down after getting yelled at. Thud. Motherfucker, say that again. I'm gonna rip your mouth off. Bitch, you think I'm scared? I don't care if you're a girl. I'll hit you until not even your mother can recognize you. All right, Vincent. Chen Zhao finally came out of the car. Hello, Chris. We meet again. You're that guy from yesterday. Chris didn't have a deep impression of Chen Zhao. After all, Chen Zhao was only one of the countless people who asked for her number. She remembered that Chen Zhao had given her a business card with only his number, but she'd already tossed that out. Vincent, it's just a small scratch, and you asked for $300? I think it'll be better if you go rob a bank. Seeing Chen Zhao's eyes, Vincent immediately looked away. Fine, because of you. I'll just take $200. Nothing less. Hand it over. Chris glanced at the scratch. She was thinking this number too, but the problem was that she didn't bring money. I didn't bring that much money. Can I give it to you some other time? Americans were used to using credit cards. Most people wouldn't have more than $100 in cash with them. I don't know you. How do I know if you're lying? Give me the money now. Vincent, I'll give you the money. How can I let you do that? Chris grew troubled. It's no big deal. You can pay me back. Sure. Chris didn't like owing people, but she really couldn't find $200 right now. She didn't even have that in her bank. I'll pay you back when I have money. You can pay me whenever you wish. But can I have your number? Oh, right. Chris took out her phone and they exchanged numbers. Then, goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, right. Your back seat? Whoosh. Vincent had already started the engine, and Chen Zhao lost his temper. Vincent, can't you see that I'm trying to flirt? Chen, you already know enough pretty girls. You should control yourself. When I saw you get out of that woman's house yesterday, your legs were trembling. That's because I sat on the toilet for too long. If blood doesn't circulate well through your legs, they'll be numb temporarily. Yeah, sure, I believe you. Chris was still at the crash site. She'd heard what Chen Zhao had said. He didn't finish, but his words still terrified her. Back seat? What was Chen trying to say? Was there something in her back seat? Chris looked back at the empty car. Was there someone there? Or something? She didn't dare get in the car. Was there something in there or not? She took out her phone and stared at Chen Zhao's number. In the end, she called. Hey Chen, it's me, Chris. Is something wrong? You didn't finish. What were you going to say? I was going to ask if that beauty in your backseat is your friend. I was going to ask for her number. There really was someone in the backseat. Chen, there's someone in the backseat? I didn't see anyone. Are you blind? There was a woman. Bullshit. There was no one there. If there was, I would have seen, especially if it's a pretty girl. I don't want to argue with you. I need to talk to Chris. Turning back to the phone, Chen Zhao said, Chris, are you still here? I'm here, Chen. Can you come back? What's wrong? You said you saw another woman in my car? Yeah. Is there a problem? But I didn't see. No, more specifically, I looked and then I crashed the car. Chen, please, can you come back? I'm scared. I believe there's something in my car, but it's definitely not my friend. Chen Zhao's expression changed. Putting a hand over his phone, he said, Vincent, are you sure you didn't see anyone? Chapter 65. Should I steal her away? Chapter 65. Should I steal her away? Chen Zhao asked Vincent to turn around and drive back. At the moment, Chris was still standing alone in the night wind, trembling anxiously. Chris, are you okay? Chen. Chris leaped into Chen Zhao's arms. What a beast! Vincent roared softly, gritting his teeth. I'm scared. Chris really was frightened. Calm down. I'm here. Chen Zhao was openly feeling Chris up as he gently tapped her shoulders. Is that thing still there? Chen Zhao glanced at the car. No, it was indeed not there. It seemed like Chris had correctly guessed that the woman Chen Zhao had seen was not a human. Is it a demon? Chen Zhao did not think that it was a demon either. At least he had never seen a demon which could appear in human form. Moreover, both Beelzebub and Raymond had told him that the human world had not seen any demons for over 1,000 years already until they appeared. So she should be some kind of ghost, I suppose? Chen Zhao had no clue what kind of being that ghost belonged to. Oh right, your friend said that you're a spiritualist. Can you help me to get rid of that evil spirit? I'm only a doctor, not a spiritualist. Chen Zhao gave a bitter smile. Chen Zhao thought that it might just be the soul of someone who had just died. In that case, it would vanish after a while anyway. Chen Zhao did not believe that Chris needed him to destroy the spirit. It was also not within his job scope. But what should I do? Right, Nance, my boyfriend. He's probably affected by an evil spirit as well. Help me. Help me. Chris, I really can't help you. I don't know how to make spirits disappear. All the knowledge Chen Zhao had on evil spirits was from Blackie. According to Blackie, evil spirits did not have the ability to follow someone. They could only appear in a specific place usually. For example, Chen Zhao's house was originally haunted. Of course, now it was still haunted, except that there was an even more cursed being. Therefore, Chen Zhao felt that Chris was only unlucky. A soul that was recently killed boarded her car by chance. More unfortunately, Chris saw it. But you also saw that evil spirit, right? How can you see it if you can't dispel it? Chen, I suggest you call the mental hospital. She's clearly crazy. Shut up. Chen Zhao widened his eyes at Vincent, who was in the car. Chen Zhao held Chris's shoulders. Chris, believe me, it'll be fine. Perhaps it was only an accident. But I don't dare to drive now. Can you drive me back? Air. I don't have a license. In fact, Chen Zhao did not even know how to drive. He had only touched the steering wheel for a few times in his life. On the other hand, in America, getting a driving license is normally the first thing a person does on reaching adulthood. Then I'll take this car. Then how about your car? I will call the towing service. All right. Chris boarded Vincent's car. Vincent muttered something inaudible. Clearly, he was extremely unhappy about Chris. Chris was obviously in shock. Chen Zhao continued to hold Chris's trembling shoulders. Chris's place was not far away at all. In less than 10 minutes, Vincent's car stopped before Chris's house. However, looking at the dark house, Chris was unwilling to leave the car. Chun, I don't want to go back. We're already at your place. Where else can you go? Can you send me to a hotel? I'll stay there for one night. Sure. Vincent, find a hotel nearby. Air. Chun, can you lend me some money? I didn't bring my card. Can't you go in and take your card if you didn't bring it? Forget it. You wouldn't dare to. Let's go to Ethan's motel. Ethan's the fat guy yesterday. You still remember him, right? Chris remained silent. Chen Zhao took that as a yes. Don't you need to call your boyfriend? I'm not sure if he's still my boyfriend. Chun, I'm scared. Some time ago I realized that Nance has become very strange. He always talks to the mirror at night and has become somewhat insane. It's almost as if he's a different person altogether. He's gloomy and easily triggered now. Please, I'm driving. Can you stop telling me horror stories? I have goosebumps. Chris kept quiet. Clearly, she did not want to irritate Vincent again and be forced to leave the car. Chen Zhao thought about her words for a while and also did not speak. He planned to ask Blackie about it after getting back. If Chris or her boyfriend was really in trouble, and if Chen Zhao could help them, then he would. Chen Zhao was also unsure about it. It really depended on whether Blackie could solve their problem. If Blackie could help, everything would be fine. On the other hand, if Blackie could not solve it, then there would be nothing Chen Zhao could do either. The car arrived at Ethan's motel. Chen Zhao held Chris and they alighted from the car together. Chen, isn't that the beauty from the store yesterday? Hi, Chen, you went out and actually brought another woman back? Ethan's words were filled with envy. He was really jealous of Chen Zhao's luck with women. Chris is going to stay here tonight. Get her a room. Room 301. There's a large bed and the environment is good. It's enough for you to play however you want. Both Chen Zhao and Chris ignored Ethan's joke. They were adults, not inexperienced juveniles. Chen Zhao took the keys at once. Let me follow you upstairs. Aren't you coming in? Air, are you okay with that? Chris looked at the dark room. She really did not have the courage to stay alone. Even though 1 hour had already passed after the incident, she was still in a frightened state. I'm scared. All right. Chen Zhao did not know how to reject a person. Sit here for a while. I'll go and take a shower first. After showering, Chris looked particularly charming and sexy. Her slender legs were fully displayed while her upper body was wrapped in a towel. Her hair was still wet with some water droplets that only made her more attractive. Chen Zhao swallowed his saliva. Chris's cheeks were somewhat rosy. What are you waiting for? Wait. Yesterday I really thought that you're a chaste girl. Air. Forget it. Rest early. Chen Zhao suddenly calmed down. He still could not do it. He felt too guilty to sleep with a woman who already had a boyfriend. Chen Zhao stood up and left the room. Chen Zhao never felt that he was a gentleman. Since he had been here, he never thought he was a good guy. Furthermore, he did not mind any type of woman. However, Chris had a fiancée after all. Chen Zhao really could not destroy a person's family. Therefore, after a brief consideration, he decided to resist the temptation. Chapter 66, Freeloading. Chapter 66, Freeloading. The next day, Chin, I think I should go open a restaurant. Why? Isn't the motel good? At least the income is steady and there aren't many risks. I must make nice food if there's a Chinese freeloader here every day. Chen Zhao rolled his eyes. That's your illusion. I come get free food from you because it's free. You should at least give some money. I think paying is an insult to our friendship, so I refuse. I don't mind you insulting me, but I mind. I get this free food with my skills. Why should I pay? You know you're making Chinese people lose face? You know how much Chinese people spent in America last year? More than $3 billion. But you're not even willing to pay $1. I think that our relationship shouldn't have conflicts because of $1. With our relationship, you shouldn't be so petty about $1. Okay, let's not talk about $1. Are you going to pay for that woman's room last night? I'm not even willing to pay $1, and you think I'll pay 10? Fine. You didn't have sex with her last night, right? No. She's not single right now. Smart. Vincent was satisfied with Chun Zhao's reply. At that time, Chris came down. She looked very down-spirited. It seemed that she didn't have a good night's sleep. Good morning, Chris. Come eat breakfast. My treat. Ethan was speechless. Thanks. Chris sat beside Chun Zhao as if nothing had happened last night. That was the truth. Nothing had happened. The two made distracted small talk. After breakfast, Chris stood up. Chun, I should go now. I'll drive you. No need. I just need to change and then go to work. Okay then. Be careful on the road. Studying Chris back, Ethan said, that woman is top quality. If I can't have sex with her, I'll probably squeeze everything out of her. Get rid of your dirty thoughts. So you're not thinking anything? I'm leaving. To where? Home. After getting home, Chun Zhao started lazing on the sofa again. He played around for 2 whole days. It was actually more tiring than work. In China, Chun Zhao had never had such a messy private life. Blackie, you here? Blackie's head emerged from the wall. He would occasionally follow Chun Zhao, but if he sensed anything, he would leave and go hunt. Blackie, I have a question. Are there evil spirits in the world? Yes. There were many in this house before. Are there any that affect a person's mind? Yes. An evil spirit is produced by negative emotions after a person dies and the soul disperses. Most evil spirits can affect human emotions. I have a friend. You saw her 2 days ago. It's Chris from the dress shop. She seems to have run into trouble. Chun Zhao recounted Chris' situation and Blackie thought for a while. It seems to be a reflection demon, not a dead spirit. Reflection demon? Beelzebub, didn't you that there are no demons in this world, other than you? Beelzebub was eating dog food. Yes, a demon was eating dog food. I'm not wrong. There aren't any demons in this world other than us. That reflection demon hasn't actually appeared on this world. He used a mirror to reflect his image here. He didn't come. So that means that Chris and I only saw the reflection. No, what you two saw weren't the same thing at all. You saw the reflection demon's true form, while that female human is the one that saw the reflection. What's the difference? Humans aren't able to see reflection demons directly. They have to look through a mirror. You're clearly not a normal human, though, so what you saw was most likely the true form. Do you have any solutions? Find the reflection demon's medium and destroy it. Then it won't be able to affect regular people anymore. After a pause, Beelzebub added, but I'm warning you, it's already crowded here. I don't want another demon. Beelzebub was obviously unwilling to have another demon to compete with for demonic crystals. He had a sense of crisis, because he realized that his ability wasn't very useful to Chen Zhao. Even Raymond was more useful. As Chen Zhao's first demon subordinate, he didn't want to be pushed to the side. Chen Zhao thought for a moment. Chris had said that her boyfriend Nance often talks to a mirror. That mirror was probably the medium, right? Thinking of this, Chun Zhao picked up his phone to call Chris. Hey, Chris. Chun, is something wrong? Chris' spirits were low. I talked to my friend about you. I want to ask you when your boyfriend started acting weirdly. Chun, I've thought about it. I was probably overthinking before, but I've broken up with him now. We won't have anything to do with each other in the future. I don't want to talk about him either. Okay. It seemed that Chun Zhao was being a busybody. He felt wronged. Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm great. Okay, that's good. Come get coffee when you're free. Okay, I'm busy. Goodbye. Bye. Since Chris said she didn't need help, Chun Zhao didn't intend to force himself into her business either. He brought all his demons into Blackie's space crevice. When the three hellhounds saw Chun Zhao and his friends, they were all ecstatic. As always, Chun Zhao went to the research lab, studying the notes and demonic medicine that the last Grim Reaper had left behind. Whether it was Chinese, Western, or demonic medicine, they all had similarities between each other. Demonic medicine was mostly about treating demons. Demons could get sick and hurt too. It was obviously difficult to treat them with human medicine. However, the research about demonic illnesses wasn't very complete either. Chun Zhao had another idea. If he combined Chinese and Western medicine with demonic medicine, would it be more effective? This was only an idea now. He still had to experiment. He obviously couldn't do it in the human world, unless he dissected Beelzebub and the others. This made Chun Zhao want to visit hell again. He walked out of the lab and looked at the Epts who were playing with the three hellhounds. Beelzebub, come here. Chapter 67. Going to Hell Isn't Tourism. Chapter 67. Going to Hell Isn't Tourism. Beelzebub, I need to go to hell. Summon me with your true form. Human, do you know how much I have to pay for summoning you? 100 souls. Chun Zhao took out a small bag of perfect crystal powder. Is this enough to compensate for your loss? Of course. It's my pleasure. Beelzebub accepted the trade without hesitation. Human, I can summon you too, Raymond suddenly interrupted. He would snatch whatever Beelzebub had. Master, did you forget about me? Carrie was similarly unwilling to be left out. I also want to invite you to my house. I'll go next time when I have the chance. Are you two not ashamed for inviting a living to your rural places? My house is only 3 days away from Fallen City. Beelzebub looked as if he was from a more developed place. Do you believe that I can bite you to death? Raymond opened his mouth, as though he was going to devour Beelzebub alive. My house is close to Endless Abyss. Human, if you follow me, I can bring you to visit the edge of Endless Abyss. That's a must-see attraction of hell. How dare you say that you've been to hell without going to Endless Abyss? What's special about Endless Abyss? It's just a big pit. The holes in your heads are big enough already. Master, my hometown is the famous Frozen Kingdom. You will see the most exquisite icy scenery where millions of souls have been turned into ice statues. It will certainly be a feast to your eyes. I'm not going there as a tourist. Chun Zhao was speechless. His demons were like illegal tour guides trying to persuade their client. However, Chun Zhao still decided to go to Beelzebub's territory. After all, he had been there once already and was more familiar with the place. As for Endless Abyss and Frozen Kingdom, Chun Zhao was somewhat creeped out by their names alone. Last time, Beelzebub had summoned Chun Zhao when he was asleep. This time, however, Beelzebub summoned Chun Zhao when he was awake. Chun Zhao appeared in a different location from last time. However, it was not far away from Black Mountain Village. Soon, Beelzebub's true form found Chun Zhao. Human, come up to my hand. After the experience last time, Chun Zhao was already used to everything. Human, where do you plan to go this time? To the Black Mountain Village. Beelzebub, will you demons also fall ill? Yes. Oh, you're a doctor. Do you want to treat demons? No way. Human medicine is definitely useless for demons. I recently learned some demon's art of healing from Blackie's castle. Its original owner developed it, so I want to try it on a few demons. Demon's art of healing? We never had the idea of treatment in hell. So what if a demon is sick or injured? Either its body is strong enough to recover, or it dies. Simple as that. Simple? That sounds like it's just waiting to die. Only you weak humans need medicine. Next time if you're ill, don't ask me for help. Of course I wouldn't ask you. You said it yourself. As the two bickered with each other, Beelzebub had already brought Chun Zhao into Black Mountain Village. Chun Zhao's second arrival also attracted the attention of many demons, but the stir was not as strong as the first time. The Great Living, why didn't you summon me? I heard that you've summoned Bloody Hunter. I'm an even more outstanding demon warrior. I hope that I'll have the chance to serve you. I heard that Raz has been summoned twice, while I've been waiting for your summoning all the time. I'll become your most loyal fighter. I also wish that I can go to the human world. The respected living, I cost less than Bloody Hunter. I'm even willing to serve you for free. Demons started to surround Chen Zhao. They had learned from Bloody Hunter long ago that the human before them was very generous. Bloody Hunter had received a piece of demonic crystal after just doing him a small favor. It was almost impossible for inferior demons like them to obtain demonic crystals. However, they would have the chance to if they could receive Chen Zhao's recognition. Therefore, all the demons seemed to be more fervent than last time. Mr. Living, Bloody Hunter walked out from the group of demons and saluted at Chen Zhao. I'm honored by your arrival. How may I help you? Damn, you abject hybrids. Did you forget that your lord is right here? Chen Zhao rolled his eyes at Beelzebub. Ignore him. I'm so mad. I'm leaving. Beelzebub pretentiously opened his wings and flew into the sky. Right. Is anyone in your village ill? I know that the mudman living in the ruined cave on the edge of the mountain is ill. Mr. Living, I'll bring him here now, Bloody Hunter answered readily. The demons around Chen Zhao also looked like they were willing to help. Before Chen Zhao could stop them, the group of demons charged towards the ruined cave in a formidable array. Soon, the extremely ugly mudman was dragged out by the group of demons. Rules were set by the powerful, while laws were present to protect the weak. There were rules in hell, but not laws. Therefore, the greatest original sin in hell was being weak. The mudman was both depressed and confused. Usually, he lived alone in the ruined cave. He had neither offended anyone nor had treasures of any value to other demons. A few dozen demons had just charged out from the village for no reason and dragged him out from his home by force. Mr. Living, we've already brought the dirty mudman here. The mudman's face was filled with panic. He had also heard that their village had welcomed a living human, but he had never seen the human before. At the moment, the human was in the village again. Why did he want to see me? Did I offend him without even knowing it? The honored living, may the humble I ask if I have accidentally offended you? The mudman stared at Chen Zhao in horror. Oh right. I caught 2 human souls in the river of death yesterday. Are they your friends or relatives? I will return them to you. No. I heard that you're ill. Is that right? Chen Zhao asked. Yes. I have been infested by hellbugs. They keep eating my flesh and blood away. It's really irritating. The rest of you can leave now. I'll call you if I need help. Realizing that Chen Zhao was not planning to harm Mudman, the group of demons left. Only Bloody Hunter stayed behind, claiming that he was going to serve Chen Zhao. I'm a doctor in the human world. That is, I treat those who are ill. Recently, I've come across some special art of healing which can be used to treat demons, so I want to try it on you. What do you think? Mr. Living, I heard that in the human world, patients have to pay the doctor for treatment. I have nothing, so I can't afford the fees. No need. You're my first demon patient, so I wouldn't charge you. Really? Slap. Bloody Hunter struck the mudman's mud-like face with his claws, mutilating his face. Of course, the mudman already looked like that in the first place. Don't question the words of Mr. Living. Bloody Hunter was definitely an excellent cat's paw. He already started to help Chen Zhao establish his reputation without Chen Zhao asking. Chapter 68, Medical Techniques to Treat Demons. Chapter 68, Medical Techniques to Treat Demons. The mudman led Chen Zhao to his cave of ruins. He lived there alone. The cave of ruins was in the middle of a swamp. Some lower-level demons and creatures lived here. Chen Zhao had seen records of hellbugs in the demonic medical book. They were basically a type of parasite. The previous Grim Reaper had experimented on humans and demons. Hellbugs could live on them. Hellbugs weren't fatal to demons, but they definitely were to humans. Thankfully, there were no hellbugs in the human world. The human world wasn't suitable for them either. Unless a hellbug could find a host in the human world extremely quickly, they wouldn't be able to survive. Because of the environment, even if 1 or 2 hellbugs appeared in the human world, only 1 or 2 people would die. It wouldn't become a widespread disaster. In hell, having hellbugs was a common illness, just like roundworms in humans back then. Some lower or smaller demons suffered greatly though. Hellbugs couldn't kill them, but they were still painful. The previous Grim Reaper mentioned 2 treatments in his notes. The first was a biological extraction, or surgery. The second was driving them out with medicine, similar to how humans drove out roundworms. The previous Grim Reaper also discovered poison ivy, a type of plant in hell. Poison ivy was a common toxic plant in hell. It contained poison that was fatal to both demons and humans, so you couldn't use it directly. It had to be refined first. After extracting the poison, the ivy could be made into an antidote that would quickly drive the hellbug out of the host. Bloody Hunter, go find some poison ivy? Yes, living lord. A while later, the Bloody Hunter found a clump of poison ivy. Qin Zhao began extracting the medical elements of the poison ivy. He put it inside a cup filled with demon's blood. The blood would absorb the poison of the ivy. When he took out the ivy later, the poison was mostly gone. After that, Qin Zhao had the Mudman eat the refined medicine. The Mudman was clearly unwilling. After all, in his eyes, poison ivy was a huge toxin and he would die. However, the Bloody Hunter was obviously fatal too, so he grudgingly ingested the poison ivy. A while later, he threw up and there was a hellbug in the vomit. The dark red creature was as thick as 3 fingers together and around 3 feet long. There were suction cups on each end. It was still very lively and tried getting close to Qin Zhao. He took 2 steps back and the Bloody Hunter squashed the hellbug. After expelling the hellbug, the Mudman became much more spirited. This was Qin Zhao's first demon patient. However, the hellbug wasn't that troublesome of a condition. The treatment process and theory was clear too. It wasn't difficult at all. Most respected living being, these are souls I fished out of the river of death yesterday. Please accept it. The Mudman held up 2 souls locked inside a fist-sized crystal ball. They'd shrunk a lot, but Qin Zhao still saw the terror on their faces. I said I don't need to get paid. No, this isn't payment. This is my respect for you. I really don't need it. I have no use for it. Qin Zhao truly didn't need it. What would he use it for? It wasn't like he ate souls. These 2 souls look very complete. You're so lucky. Where did you find them? The Bloody Hunter looked at the 2 souls in the crystal ball. Most souls floated down the river of death after falling into hell. The demons would capture these fallen souls like fishermen. Some souls were more complete and remembered most of their lives. They were more valuable. They could be divided into dozens of soul fragments. Others were more broken. Their memories were already shattered, so they were naturally less valuable. It was a feat if a demon could get 1 or 2 soul fragments. As a resident of a territory, the demons had to pay tax to their lords, which was in the form of soul fragments. For example, a small lord like Beelzebub could get more than 1,000 soul fragments per year. He wasn't very strong, but his territory was in a good place. The river of death would flow through it, so he was pretty well off. The Bloody Hunter found a few more sick demons for Qin Zhao. These all had common diseases. It was easy for Qin Zhao to treat them too. After these cases, Qin Zhao became much more familiar with demonic medical knowledge. Studying for 10 years couldn't be compared to actually doing it once. After half a day, Qin Zhao returned to the human world. Knock, knock. As soon as he exited the basement, he heard the knocking outside. Opening the door, he saw an overweight 50-year-old woman holding a piece of pizza. Hi, I'm your neighbor. I live across the street in the 3rd house to the left. I heard that there's a new neighbor, so I came over to say hi. This is freshly made. Thanks. I'm Qin Zhao, but you can call me Qin. Qin Zhao didn't reject her. After all, this was his first interaction with neighbors. The pizza wasn't the main point. It was the thought that counted. If Qin Zhao wanted to keep living here, he had to have good relationships with his neighbors. He didn't plan on acting like a cold city guy or an unfriendly stranger. I'm Mary. My husband is Bant. I think you two will become friends. I won't disturb you anymore. Goodbye. Goodbye. Qin Zhao and the demons crowded around to eat the pizza when someone knocked on the door again. It was a man around 50 years old. He seemed to be close to Ethan's age, but he was completely different from Ethan. While Ethan was the decadent middle-aged type, this man was tall and burly like a bear. He had a strong presence. "Hello, I'm Mary's husband. She just said that there's a cute boy here." I don't think I count as a cute boy." Qin Zhao wondered how Mary described him at home. He was nowhere close to cute. "Okay, whatever. Mary said that you don't look back, so you want to come to our town's bonfire party tonight?" "Sure. Thanks for your invitation." "Oh, can I bring my kids?" "Of course. You're married?" Qin Zhao moved to the side. There were some small furry heads eavesdropping in the corner. "These are my kids. Of course. I'll come pick you up tonight." Chapter 69, Heroes of the Fireground. Chapter 69, Heroes of the Fireground. In the evening, Bant came to fetch Qin Zhao. Bant was driving an outmoded truck, but Qin Zhao did not really care. "Chun, are you from China? How did you know?" "We had an immigrant here in the past. His name was also Chun." "Oh, is he still here?" "No, he moved away, but he would occasionally come back to meet his friend." Although they had had little contact, Qin Zhao could tell that Bant was a straightforward person. He was able to get along with most people and did not have any taboos. "Chun, what's your job?" "Doctor." "Doctor. A good profession." Most Americans feel that doctors, lawyers, and college professors are the best jobs available. These people have high income and are respected. Indeed, Americans and Chinese have more or less the same opinions regarding this. "Huh. Is that a factory?" Qin Zhao pointed at the distance where thick smoke could be seen. Shit, that's a winery. It's on fire. My son works there." Bant turned the steering wheel, and the truck raced towards the burning winery. At the moment, the area outside the winery was already a mess. The first 4 floors of the 6-story building were ablaze, and the people outside had no way of going in. On the 5th and 6th floors, there were people calling for help. Because it was too high, nobody dared to jump down. They could only wait for the firefighters to arrive. Suddenly, however, Walter, who was in the trunk of the vehicle, jumped down and charged into the fireground directly. "Shit, your dog just ran in?" Qin Zhao was also dumbfounded. He knew that Walter used to save people in water, but it was a fireground this time. Qin Zhao glanced at Carrie. She was an ice demon, and her icy power could greatly weaken the fire. However, she must not use it publicly. Qin Zhao signaled Carrie with his eyes, while he also charged into the fireground. Carrie followed Qin Zhao closely into the building, leaving Bant astonished. How did they dare to charge into such a huge fire? All the first 4 floors were afire. Even the vents were spouting flames. However, Qin Zhao and his pets actually dashed into the fireground one after another. Just then, Walter dragged a person out from the building with his mouth. Realizing this, Bant and the other few people outside ran up immediately and poured water onto the wounded victim. Bant and the rest all looked at Walter respectfully. Walter was in a bad shape. His originally bright hair was partially charred. However, after saving a person, Walter actually went back into the fire round again. Qin Zhao was actually not in any danger. Carrie was right beside him, and the fire could not even go near them. In the fire, Qin Zhao saw a person trembling at a corner of a room. Qin Zhao immediately went up. The person was alive and not really injured, but he was half unconscious. "Carrie, use your power on him." Carrie cast her icy power on the victim at once. In such a situation, her power would only protect him instead of harm him. Walter had already returned to Qin Zhao, who carried the victim on his back. "Walter, Carrie, continue searching for people who are alive. I'll carry him out. Carrie, cast your icy power on me as well." Very soon, Qin Zhao shivered and his body was covered in a thin layer of ice. This would protect him from the high temperature outside. Qin Zhao quickly charged out from the passage. The condition of the air around him was really too bad. Once Qin Zhao was out of the fireground, Bant and the rest walked up. "Chun, it's too risky. He's still alive." Give me a bucket of water. I'm going in again. Chen, I know that you want to save them, but quick, my kids are still inside. Chen Zhao thought that since he was already involved, he might as well continue helping the people inside. Moreover, he would surely gain a significant amount of demonic crystals by saving these people. Even if Chen Zhao was not really a hero, Walter was definitely one. Unable to convince Chen Zhao, Bant grabbed a bucket of water and poured onto himself first. I'm going in with you. My son is also inside. No, I'm going alone. I can't take care of two people at the same time. Chen Zhao did not want Carrie's ability to be seen by others. Wait for me outside. Tell me your son's features. I'll bring him out. Around the same age as you. Short hair. Tattoo on his neck. All right. Chen Zhao poured a bucket of water onto himself and charged into the Fireground again. Soon, Walter dragged another person out. Just then, the firemen finally arrived. Great, we're finally here. Who can tell me what's the situation now? The captain of the firefighters instructed his team to ready the water gun as he asked the people around, Did you save those few people? No, they were saved by Chun and his pets. That's Chin's dog. It's a hero and has dragged two people out already. Chun is still inside. Bant was extremely nervous. He was worried for both Chun and his son whom he had not heard about yet. Just as Bant and the firefighters were talking, Walter charged into the Fireground again. The captain was astounded. Did it go in just like this? With such a large fire, we can't even go near the entrance with our fire suit. Yes, so it's a hero. Both its master and it are heroes. Soon, another person walked out from the building. Chen Zhao dragged another victim out again. Seeing the person dragged out by Chen Zhao, Bant immediately shouted in surprise, Kin. Chen Zhao was also somewhat exhausted. It was too tiring to move in the Fireground. Do you have an oxygen mask? He has taken in too much smoke. Pour some water onto him first, and then give him some oxygen. Chun, thank you. Let me go. I'm going in again. Buddy, you've done enough. Leave the rest to us. You can't go in again. The fire's too big. No way. My kids are still inside. I can't leave them there. Then wear this. It can protect you. The firefighter captain gave Chen Zhao a fire suit. Okay. Without hesitation, Chen Zhao wore the fire suit. Then, the firefighters beside him poured some water onto him with the water gun. The captain looked at Chen Zhao, who was running into the building. I like this guy. Bant also stared at Chen Zhao's back as he performed first aid on his son, according to Chen Zhao's instructions. Me too. He saved my son. Soon, Walter came out again, saving another person. After that, he ran into the building again. The captain and his team members were all bewildered. Most animals were very scared of fire. Even the most obedient pet would run away from a fire scene right away. They had never seen a pet that would go near a fire by itself. That guy went in again. It's really strong to drag such a big person. I feel that it should belong to our fire brigade. No, it belongs to our mountain town. Both its master and it belong here. A few minutes later, Chen Zhao carried a person out while dragging another with his hand. He had already given his fire suit to the person on his back. After a while, Walter and Carrie also came out from the building, with Walter dragging one more person out. Chapter 70. Effort and Reward. Chapter 70. Effort and Reward. Chun, how are you? I'm fine. Chen Zhao was exhausted at the moment. He was sure that there were no survivors in the 4 levels on fire. Everyone that could be saved had already been saved. How's your son? He's woken up. Bant pointed at Kin, who was sitting on the ground in the near distance. His injuries weren't bad, and he just inhaled smoke. Chun, I don't know how to thank you. The chief fireman walked over. Hey, you okay? Yes. Can the fire be contained? Chen Zhao looked at the people on the 5th and 6th floor. They were at the window waiting to be rescued, and there were quite a lot of them. If the fire continued spreading, Chen Zhao might have to risk his life again. No problem. Our water guns can hit the 4th floor. The fireman patted Chen Zhao's shoulder. Hey, not that hard. Chen Zhao's entire body was in pain. Sorry, your pets are so amazing. How did you train them? Especially this baby. Even I want to steal him. Hearing his words, Walter growled at the fireman. Haha, seems like it's unwilling. Is the ambulance here? No, we're too far from the hospital. Unlike China with the 5-minute rule, ambulances, fire trucks, and police came according to their distance. If a town didn't have much money, it may need to share these public safety institutions with other towns. Chen Zhao stood up. I'm a doctor. I'll go look at the wounded. Hey, you're overexhausted right now and exertion at a fire is 5 times higher than usual. You better go rest. It's okay. I'm a doctor. I know overexertion will only make me sore and tired for a few days. I won't die, but they will. I saved them from the fire. I can't let them die before my eyes. One person was severely burnt and wouldn't be able to leave the hospital in a few days. Chen Zhao secretly fed him some perfect crystals. The others weren't that serious. Most had just inhaled too much smoke. The fire on the 4th floor didn't keep spreading and was getting put out gradually. This fire was a huge hit to the town's economy. Millions of dollars had turned to dust. Some people had died as well. If Chen Zhao, Walter, and Carrie hadn't rushed in to save people, the casualties would be greater. The 3 saved 9 people from the fire. One was heavily injured while the others had lighter wounds. The ambulance arrived in half an hour. 3 hours later, the fire was put out entirely. Chun, can my team take a picture with you and Walter? Of course. The firemen all admired Chun Zhao and Walter. After all, they'd saved 9 people. Chun, I'll drive you back. Aren't you going to stay with your son in the hospital? No need. I told Mary to go. I can't leave the hero behind. Bant, please don't call me a hero. If you keep doing this, I might have to move. Fine. Chun, how's that? Chen Zhao sat in the car and almost dozed off. Chun, are you okay? Do you need to get to the hospital? No, I'm just tired. When they reached his home, Bant woke Chen Zhao up. Thanks, Bant. No, I should be the one thanking you. After some hesitation, Bant added, Chun, be careful of the mayor. What? This fire might have something to do with the mayor. Why didn't you tell the police? It's useless. There's no evidence, unless you can find something at the fire site. What's going on? A chemical plant has their eyes on the land the winery is on. They want to buy it and establish a chemical plant, but all the citizens protested. Only the mayor supports it, while the winery is the town's public industry, so the chemical plant never succeeded. Later, they tried to buy the land from the mayor, but he doesn't have the right. So you suspect that he set the fire, right? Yes. He's not a good person. Then how did he become mayor? He won't be for long. His term will be up in 2 months, and no one will vote for him again. Does he have some bad past? On the surface, he's just a regular politician. Actually, saying he's a politician is too much for him. I've heard that he has connections with gangs, so I told you to be careful. Okay, I understand, but I was just saving people. There's no reason for him to go against me, right? One of the people you saved is his mortal enemy, Old Treed, owner of the winery. They'd had an intense confrontation before. The mayor once said that he would have Treed and the winery go up in flames together. The mayor is that bold? Yes. He's an asshole and a complete demon. Woof, woof, woof. Bant. My kids are all nicknamed Little Demon. They don't like having other people take their nickname. Okay. Anyway, just be careful. That madman might want to use his last term to go crazy. No one knows what he might do. I understand. I'll be careful. After warning Chen Zhao, Bant went home. No one would be able to rest tonight. Chen Zhao guessed that Bant had to get to the hospital later. As soon as Chen Zhao got home, he opened the metal box. As expected, there was a huge perfect crystal lying inside quietly. His efforts tonight hadn't gone to waste. He felt like risking his life to save those people was all worth it. It wasn't that he was too realistic. It had really been dangerous when saving those people. Even with Carrie's protection, it still wasn't without risks. Chen Zhao took out the miscellaneous pieces of demonic crystals. Carrie, Walter, these are yours. Human, what about me? And me? You two didn't help and you still want a reward? We couldn't do anything there. Did you expect us to go in and get in your way? Beelzebub asked matter-of-factly. The most help we can give is to cheer you on outside. Fine. Chun Zhao chose the two smallest demonic crystals. This is the reward for cheering me on. That's small. Beelzebub and Raymond looked at their crystal and then at the handful of demonic crystals that Carrie and Walter had each. As the saying went, there was no sadness if there was no comparison. Seeing the difference, Beelzebub and Raymond grew unhappy. Walter, my blood flows in you, so you should give me half. Woof. Walter opened its mouth and started growling at Beelzebub. It was a demon now, not an ignorant dog. As for Carrie, she was never afraid of Beelzebub and Raymond. The possibility of wresting demonic crystals from her was basically zero. Chapter 71. Mutual Deception. Chapter 71. Mutual Deception. Walter's mouth looked swollen. He held all the demonic crystals in his mouth, after which he trotted boastfully into the basement and into Blackie's territory to find the Hellhound. The Hellhound was Walter's best friend. He would share whatever he had with the Hellhound. As for Beelzebub, Raymond, and Carrie, they did not know what sharing was. At night, the house was in complete silence, but Beelzebub and Raymond did not sleep. Today, Chun Zhao had been generous for once and had given so many demonic crystals to Carrie and Walter. Walter did not know how to save it all. He had already shared some of her crystals with the Hellhound and eaten the rest. They were both single and did not have a family to take care of. On the other hand, Beelzebub and Raymond had wives and a group of children. They could not eat all the demonic crystals at once like the other two foolish dogs. Therefore, they could only put their eyes on Carrie's crystals. Just like them, Carrie would not eat all the demonic crystals at once. Similar to Beelzebub and Raymond, Carrie would go back to hell once in a while, bringing her demonic crystals with her. Raymond, are you sure you can find where Carrie hid her crystals? Yes, my nose doesn't lie. I promise you I know where her crystals are. Then what are we waiting for? Bring me there now. While it was still dark, Beelzebub and Raymond slipped from the house surreptitiously and went to the backyard. It's right under that tree. Dig them all out. Why don't you do it yourself? Do you see any hands from me? Raymond was frustrated. I heard that snakes can burrow. Nonsense, you fool. Snakes can't burrow. At least I can't. I found them, and I'll dig them out. What are you going to do? At least I can bear the consequences with you if we're found. When we get Carrie's treasure, I want 60%. No way. We agreed to share it equally. But I did more. If you keep nagging, I'll wake Carrie up. Fine, fine. Beelzebub started digging downwards. After digging for less than 30 centimeters, he saw a small wooden box. Look, here it is. Great. Open it. Beelzebub eagerly opened the box. However, the next moment, a pall of smoke spread out from the box. Beelzebub trembled and fell unconscious. Fool, Raymond said, sticking his tongue out. Carrie, you can come out now. Carrie strolled out elegantly from the dark. Did that fool fall into the trap? Yes. He's already affected by your hypnotic pollen. He'll sleep until the morning. He would never have imagined that you would betray him. I'm not his subordinate, so it's not called betrayal. Let's go. I'll bring you to his treasure point. Raymond and Carrie made one round and went to the vegetated area which was in front of the house and beside the road. He hides his demonic crystals here. I saw him digging here for quite a while one night. Are you sure it's not your trap? I promise. But I don't trust you. After all, you've just betrayed Beelzebub. I've already brought you here anyway. I only want my share now. After considering, Carrie still decided to try it. Nevertheless, she was still extremely careful. Using her icy power, an ice shard dropped down from the sky towards the place Raymond had specified. At the instant the ice shard hit, a whirlpool suddenly appeared out of nowhere. No, it's a trap. A ward, Carrie shouted, realizing that she had been rooted. She turned around and looked at Raymond. Help me. Haha. An evil smile appeared on Raymond's face. Carrie understood everything at once. I knew it. You've just betrayed Beelzebub, and now you're betraying me. I've betrayed no one. You despicable and abject demon. Carrie attempted to break free from the ward, but it was very firm. She would not be able to escape from it without a few hours of work. Raymond twisted his slim body and slowly disappeared in Carrie's vision. However, just after Raymond left, Beelzebub appeared quietly. I already said that stinky bug can't be trusted. Stop wasting time. You're nothing good either. Release me from the ward now. Beelzebub stood up with his hind legs and grabbed a tree branch with his front paws. He drew a magic array on the ground, after which he injected magical power into the array. Immediately, the array lit up. Beelzebub controlled the power of the magic array and pointed the branch in his paw at Carrie. At once, Carrie regained freedom. Although Beelzebub's main ability was gluttony, he was a demon after all. He certainly had more than just one ability. Carrie and Beelzebub had contacted each other secretly long ago. However, they were also on guard and plotting against each other. Just like how Raymond had plotted Beelzebub, and then Carrie, Beelzebub, and Carrie would betray each other too if they had the chance. Are you not going to stop Raymond? He knows the real place you've hidden your demonic crystals. So what? Do you think he'll be able to get my treasure easily? Then let's go and take Raymond's treasure. Do you know where it is? It's in the doghouse of Blackie's stupid dog. He thought that he hid it well. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go now. However, little did they know that Raymond was also looking at them in the dark. These two fools. They thought that their silly plan can trick me. Demons were treacherous creatures. They normally looked ludicrous in front of Chen Zhao, but they were not actually stupid. As all of this was happening, Chen Zhao was watching them with a pair of night vision device which he had purchased online. Looks like they'll do this for the entire night again. Walter, are you sure that you've found all their demonic crystals? Roar. If anyone isn't obedient next time, I'll make him or her bankrupt. Everything was in Chen Zhao's control. The three demons thought that they had everything, but they had been under Chen Zhao's monitoring all the time. These three bastards would fight against each other non-stop both openly and secretly every night. All right, let's sleep. Chen Zhao lied on the bed when a head suddenly appeared above him. How many times have I said this? Don't appear like this. I can't knock or push the door, so it's the only option. Still, don't appear right above my bed. How would I know where you are? Of course I'm on the bed at this time, Chen Zhao complained. Forget it. What's up? When I came back just now, I discovered an interesting place. Do you want to go there? Chapter 72, Gates of Hell. Chapter 72, Gates of Hell. What is this place? An ancient passageway. What kind of passageway? It leads to the gates of hell? Huh. Someone had once created a gate to hell nearby but failed. Where? Is it far? It'll take around an hour by foot. That far? Chun Zhao hesitated. Should we go tomorrow? Let's see when we have time. Walking for 1 hour is too far. You can only see that place during a full moon. We'll have a chance in the next 3 days, but after that, we'll have to wait until next month. What's so interesting about a failed door? Chun Zhao asked, confused. It's a door that you can go through, but you can't go out. The person who made it probably wanted to create a two-way door so he could go in and out of hell. Is that useful? It's not useful to you, since you can go in and out of hell without a gate, but it's very meaningful to regular humans. I haven't thought of a use for the gate. Think about it. Your family member died, and you want to see him. You can use this gate to see the family member who'd fallen into hell. That's crazy. Even if a soul fell into hell, how do you find it? Hell is so big. You don't have to look around. If that soul hasn't been captured by a demon, you only need to use a magic spell to send a soul in, and then the gate can send the relative's soul out. If a demon has captured the soul, you'll need to exchange more souls. But even if you can summon back your relative's soul, it'll be incomplete, right? Yes. This is what you humans are obsessed with. Not everyone is so logical. Go to sleep. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Qinzhao kept thinking about Blackie's words and couldn't fall asleep. He didn't have a good night's sleep and was still listless the next day. He couldn't recover from the fire yesterday. His neck was sore and his limbs felt weak. Qianzhao was a doctor, so he knew that these conditions were because sudden high exertion resulted in muscle fatigue. He dredged his meridians, and the conditions were slightly relieved. Beelzebub, Raymond, and Carrie had fought the entire night and had just started sleeping. Knock, knock. Qianzhao opened the door. It was Jerlin. Jerlin, how come you're here? What? You don't welcome me. Are you hiding another woman in your home? Qianzhao moved aside, letting Jerlin in. You don't have work today? Jerlin walked in and grabbed the milk Qianzhao had drunk. I just solved a major case. Melson gave me 2 days break. Qianzhao poured another glass of milk. So you can accompany me for the next 2 days? So you miss me? Of course. Qianzhao pulled Jerlin directly into the bedroom. After their morning exercise, they went back downstairs. Do you have work today? No. My time is all yours. Let's go camping. Sure. Jerlin indeed wanted to relax. Otherwise, she wouldn't drag Qianzhao to go camping. Bring the kids. Jerlin really liked these little demons. She was even jealous of Qianzhao for being able to train them so well. The town that Qianzhao lived in was called Mountain Town. This was obviously because there were a few big mountains beside it. Qianzhao and Jerlin were entangled the entire morning. After lunch, they began packing the stuff for camping and got into Jerlin's car. 20 minutes later, they reached the foot of the mountain. Qianzhao picked up the biggest bag while giving the other one to Walter, the biggest animal. Jerlin, have you camped here before? I've come here before, but not for camping. A corpse was discovered nearby half a year ago. Okay, change the topic. There's a lake over there. Let's put the tent up there. Jerlin didn't know that their group had an extra person, or rather, demon, Blackie. The gate of hell I mentioned is upstream of the lake. Want to go look? Another time. Jerlin's here right now. Qianzhao didn't want to ruin the camping mood. When he reached the lakeside, a fresh feeling instantly entered his heart. The water glittered and a slight breeze blew past. Dense forests were on either side of the clear water. If I had the money, I would definitely buy this place and then build a mansion, Jerlin said emotionally. Indeed, the view was amazing and the air was clean and fresh. Nature was well preserved here. Anyone who came here would fall in love with it. You won't be able to get this place without $12 million, right? Chun, you're too much. This place won't be more than $500,000. How is that possible? How can such a great environment only be $500,000? You're not going to grow a farm here, and there's no value in developing it. Traffic is inconvenient, and there aren't any homes nearby. How much value do you think it has? In Qianzhao's opinion, $500,000 was definitely worth it for a place like this. However, it wasn't a small number to him either. Human, Blackie said, if you can buy this place, the 3 hellhounds will have enough space to exercise. They won't be cooped up in the space crevice all day. But didn't you just settle into the crevice? I can move the crevice to this place or move all the stuff here. You can move crevices? It's kind of annoying, but it's still possible. But I don't have money. It wasn't that Qianzhao had no money. He'd indeed made a lot of money during this period, but it was only about $500,000. He could put in all his savings to buy this land, but he had to pay to build a house too. He also had to construct a road to the highway. This would be a great sum too. I'm not in a hurry. It's not that easy to move a crevice either. You're tempting me to buy this land just so the 3 can have space to move around? More importantly, it's really close to the gates of hell. What does that have to do with you? This gate was most likely created by the previous owner of the spatial crevice. I want to study the crevice. If you live here, I can go in and out of the gate more easily. Chapter 73, Fake Play Becomes Real. Chapter 73, fake play becomes real. There wouldn't be demons coming out from the gates of hell, right? Of course not. It's not that easy for demons to enter the human world. Since we can use sorcery to summon souls from the gates of hell, can we also summon demons? That's different altogether. It's more like trading than summoning. Souls are considered as a commodity, but demons can't trade themselves. Then why can I summon demons? How would I know? I'm not an omniscient god. But you're a grim reaper, god of death. That's kind of a god. While I'm happy to be viewed by humans as a god of death, why do I only feel deep insult from your words? Walter's favorite thing was water. He had already jumped into the lake. Beelzebub, Raymond, and Carrie liked to play in water too. Although they were not as enlivened as Walter, they were still delighted. Chun Zhao was convinced by Blackie's suggestion. However, the huge price still made him hesitant. Chun, are you really thinking about it? Jerlin realized that Chen Zhao was actually considering it seriously. Maybe. Do you have that much money? Jerlin asked. I managed to get some money from a rich person recently. Are you really planning to buy the land? I have no idea how much this piece of land actually costs, whether it belongs to Mountain Town or is private, and whether its owner is willing to sell it. Even if I can buy it, I wouldn't have the money to build a house. However, this was not the main theme that day, so Chun Zhao only chatted with Jerlin about it briefly. Chun Zhao only had the preliminary thought about purchasing the land. Anyway, he felt that the value of his money would be better preserved by buying the land than storing it in the bank. Money in the bank would only slowly lose its value. On the other hand, if Chen Zhao invested it on actual property, no matter how much the land devalued, he would not lose much. Chun Zhao had a very typical Chinese mindset. Chinese people have a special feeling towards land. In Chen Zhao's mindset, he would only have a foundation after he owned a piece of land. Moreover, he felt that this piece of land has its own value, unlike what Jerlin had said. In fact, the natural environment was part of its value. If this land cost $10 million, Chen Zhao would not even think about buying it. However, if it only cost $500,000, Chun Zhao felt that he could buy it. As Beelzebub and the rest played in the lake, Chun Zhao and Jerlin built a tent on the lakeside. Jerlin was very familiar with this, and they finished the tent in 10 minutes. Just then, a few playful young people walked towards their direction. They looked like high school students. There was a mix of both genders, and they were wearing either swimming trunks or swimsuit. These people also saw Chun Zhao and Jerlin, so they approached them. Hello. I've never seen you before. Are you new to this place? A burly young man said. He was handsome, well-built, and polite. You can call me Chun. I live in the infamous ghost house in town. Chin? I know you. Suddenly, a brown-haired girl behind exclaimed, Yesterday the winery was on fire. I heard that an Asian and a dog saved 9 people from the Fireground. You even saved Uncle Bernard. Am I right? Hearing her words, the few young people all looked at Chun Zhao in surprise and respect. I'm Famaralap, the leading young man said. The others also introduced themselves. Famar lifted a box of beer from his companion. Do you want one? Are you adults already? My girlfriend is a cop. In America, one needs an identity document to buy tobacco and alcohol. It is a crime to sell them to minors. Of course, some places are stricter than others. Don't spoil the fun. Come, Ms. Police, let's drink together. Chun Zhao shrugged his shoulders helplessly. Jerlin also did not care if these people were adults. Anyway, she was in charge of crime investigation and did not care about these things. The brown-haired girl Lily pointed at the few dogs that were playing in the lake. Is the largest German shepherd there the dog which saved people from the Fireground? Yes, he's Walter. He's a good boy. He's really big. I've never seen such a huge dog. Usually, a German shepherd could only have a shoulder height of 60 centimeters and weight of 45 kilograms at most. However, Walter's shoulder height was over 80 centimeters and he weighed 65 kilograms. He was almost as heavy as an adult woman. Moreover, this did not seem to be his limit. Since Walter had been converted to a hybrid demon, he had been growing. Recently, his growth had already slowed down, but it had not stopped completely. Zhao was also unsure how big Walter could reach. Even the difference between two humans whose heights were 3 centimeters apart could be easily noticed, not to mention dogs. Walter was indeed very large, especially when he was with Beelzebub and Carrie. German Shepherd was considered as a large dog, but Walter's size at the moment was already extra large. Of course, Walter's weight and shoulder height were still within the range of a normal dog. Does he bite? Nope. I already said, he's a good boy. Can I test him? Famer asked. How do you want to test him? I'll pretend to be drowning. Fine. Famer ran into the lake and then slowly swam away until he was about a few dozen meters away from the shore. Suddenly, he felt something drag his feet. Is there a big fish in the lake? He thought. However, before he could think further, he felt something bite his feet. Its bite force was not big, but it kept dragging him down. Shit. Help. Help. The people on the shore all looked at Famer with a smile. Lily pointed at Famer and remarked, his acting is so real. Is he in trouble? Zhao asked, frowning. Stop joking. Famer is the captain of our school's swimming team, and he has taken part in the high school sports competition, where he was the champion in the youth division. Even his warm-up in school every day is 1,000 meters, another young man said. Zhao still felt uneasy. From Famer's behavior, he felt that something might actually have gone wrong. Walter, save him. In the lake, Walter turned his head and saw Famer in the distance. Splash. God, he's so fast. Famer's sinking. He's not joking. Walter, faster. Walter was extremely fast. Zhao's eyelids quivered as he scanned everyone around him. They did not seem to have noticed that Walter's swimming speed was extraordinary. Everyone was fully focused on Famer. At the moment, he had already disappeared from the surface of the pool. Walter dived down suddenly, and everyone could feel their heart pound. They finally realized that Famer was really in trouble. Chapter 74, Subordinate Imprint. Chapter 74, Subordinate Imprint. Finally, Famer floated up and started swimming back with full power. Where's Walter? Why didn't Walter come up? Lily yelled in panic. As soon as she spoke, they saw splashes behind Famer. Walter seemed to be fighting with something. It was a huge catfish that was even bigger than Walter. It was dramatically large. It seemed to be 2 times the size of Walter. Everyone tensed up. Could Walter defeat this catfish in the water? Zhao wasn't doubtful. Walter's combat ability wasn't equal to his size. After a while, the catfish floated up to the surface. Walter started swimming to Famer. After catching up, it pushed against Famer with its head and helped him swim back to land. When everyone saw that man and dog were safe, they let out sighs of relief. Famer, are you okay? I'm all right. Famer nodded. That catfish bit my ankle and dragged me down. Thankfully, Walter saved me. He was still in shock. It had just been a joke. No one expected there would be serious danger. Famer looked down at Walter. He's really powerful. Walter, go get that catfish, Zhao said. We'll have fish tonight. Everyone looked at Walter and then that huge catfish floating on the surface. Are you sure Walter can get it onto land? Of course. Famer, come sit here. I'll give you a checkup. Famer had truly drowned just then. Zhao needed to be sure if he had pulmonary edema. If he did, then he had to go to the hospital. I feel great. There's no problem. Famer patted his chest. If you want to eat that catfish, then listen to me and let me check. Fine. Zhao checked and didn't let him go until he was sure Famer was okay. By then, Walter had dragged the catfish onto land, and everyone worked together to drag it over. It took a few young people's entire strength to move the fish. This catfish was honestly too big, especially its mouth. It could completely swallow a child-sized creature. It wouldn't eat an adult human, but its habit was to view anything in the water that's smaller than it or close to it as its target. They were more aggressive than sharks, and in America, there were occasionally cases where children drowned because of catfish. This was why some catfish were known as man-killing catfish. Of course, this wasn't that common. I didn't think there would be such a large catfish in the lake, Famer said. There's probably only this one. This lake can't contain 2 huge catfish. This lake was less than 1 square mile. It also connected to a river with moving water. Moving water could maintain the quality of the water, but it also meant medium-sized catfish could escape. After all, it was difficult for other large fish to survive in this tiny lake if there was already a domineering king. If they couldn't live here, they would choose to escape. If this catfish didn't have enough food, it could only go hungry. This was also why it attacked Famer. However, it would no longer rule the waters. Chun Zhao slid open its stomach and suddenly dug out a pearl. What's this? It's from hell, Blackie said, floating over. It has hell's aura. Beelzebub, come here. Beelzebub bounced over. What? Do you know what this is? It looks like some demon's subordinate imprint. What's a subordinate imprint? I'm subordinate to the king of gluttony, so I have his imprint in me. Are you born with it? Yes. So that means that this catfish is actually some large demon's subordinate. It also might have eaten a subordinate and the imprint was left inside its stomach. Is that likely? It's less likely, but it's not impossible. With my current state, it'll definitely eat me if I run into it. That means that some demon had come to the human world, unfortunately fell into the water, and was eaten by this catfish. I don't know. It might be what you said. Will it be all right if we eat it after it ate a demon? Yeah. What does the subordinate imprint do? If you collect enough, you can summon the superior demon. How many do you need? Not sure. It depends on which demon it is. I'm subordinate to the king of gluttony, so you'll need at least 100 glutton imprints to summon his projection. If it's just a regular subordinate, you only need around 5 imprints. What if I want to summon your demon king Satan? You can't. No one can summon him if he's unwilling. However, if he's willing to reply to you, you can summon him into the human world without any cost. That cool? That cool. Robio. Phalai walked in, scaring Robio. He crumpled up the newspaper in his hands and tossed it into the trash can. What's up? Robio looked up at Phalai. You've been sitting in the office for an hour. This isn't something a coastal lifeguard should do. You can't save anyone in here. All right. Robio stood up. Phalai didn't follow him out. Instead, she looked suspiciously at the newspaper Robio had tossed. Taking it out and opening it, she saw the huge headline. Firefighting hero? Phalai started reading the article. It said that a man and dog saved 9 people from a fire. There was also a picture. It wasn't very clear, but she could see it was an Asian man with a dog. Seeing the dog, Phalai's brows furrowed subconsciously. How come it looked so much like Walter? Phalai looked out the window. Seeing Robio's jogging figure, the suspicion in her grew. The newspaper mentioned Fire Brigade No. 7 of L.A. Changing her clothes, Phalai left the beach without telling anyone. She had to get this cleared up, no matter if it was Walter or not. The newspaper picture wasn't clear and was in black and white, but she felt like the dog was Walter. She also noticed that the man with the dog was that illegal doctor from last time. Of course, she couldn't make any conclusions now, but she had a feeling that it was Walter. Chapter 75. Never correct or expose a lying woman. Chapter 75. Never correct or expose a lying woman. Hi. Phalai found Fire Brigade No. 7 of L.A. A burly firefighter walked up and asked, Madam, how may I help you? I want to inquire about the winery fire the night before yesterday. Yes. What about it? In that fire, an Asian and a dog participated in firefighting. Is that right? You mean Chan and Walter? Yes, I remember them clearly. They're both heroes. In that incident, my colleagues and I were almost insignificant, but I'm honored to be able to cooperate with them. The firefighter obviously had a great impression of Chun Zhao and Walter. Most firefighters had low salary despite the high risk they had to face. Therefore, people without a sense of justice would not be able to take this job for long. Hence, firefighters were usually very kind towards people of the same kind. Moreover, America is a country that supports individual heroism. To firefighters, charging into a raging fire and saving people was the best definition of individual heroism. Faylai's eyes sparkled and her heart almost jumped out of her chest. Walter. Is that dog also called Walter? Can you tell me where that Asian lives? You want to find him? What's your relationship with him? The firefighter stared at Faylai. He did not say anything recklessly, although the beautiful lady before him did not seem like a bad person. However, this involved Chen Zhao's privacy after all. Americans are always very alert about such things. After thinking, Faylai bit her lip and said, "That man abandoned me. He left me without saying a thing, and I've been looking for him since then. I have to find him, and then I'll crack his balls." "Oh, I see. I support your idea very much, but I don't have his number either. You can go to Mountain Town and ask around. He should be living there." "Great. Thank you." He's a hero indeed, but I don't like people who abandon their girlfriends without a word. Then I'll leave now. Bye. Can I have your number, please? We can eat together when you're free. I know a great burger shop, the firefighter said. Sorry. Before I kick that bastard's balls, I'm not ready for another relationship. All right. Do you know where Mountain Town is? I can send you there. That will be amazing if you're free. Faylai indeed did not know where Mountain Town was. Los Angeles is huge, and there are at least 100 towns around it. It would be best if there was someone to lead Faylai. I'm Kanan. What's your name? Faylai. I'm from the Coastal Rescue Team, Faylai answered. Oh, so our occupations are kind of the same. Not quite, although we both save people. You save people from fire, while we save people from water. Faylai, do you still like Chin? No. According to psychology, the fact that you're still finding your ex for revenge indicates that you still have feelings towards him. Did you learn psychology? No. The negotiator of our fire brigade taught me this. Then did the negotiator tell you that you should never correct or expose a lying woman? In just over half an hour, the two arrived at Mountain Town. How do we find him? Faylai asked. Kanan scanned around him. Easy. Find the police. Kanan stopped the car by the roadside and walked to a police car. Buddy, I want to find a person. He's an Asian who's raised a few dogs. I believe he lives in this town. Do you know where he stays? You mean Chen? Yes, that's him. Leonardo inspected Kanan and then looked at Faylai, who was still in the car behind. Do you know Chen? The lady in my car is his ex-girlfriend. They still have some unsettled business, Kanan said. He lives in number 13 Banana Street. The haunted house, Leonardo said. Got it. Thank you and bye. Once Kanan left, Leonardo called Chen Zhao. Chen, I just met your ex-girlfriend. What? Chen Zhao was dumbfounded. My ex-girlfriend? She should be on the other side of the Pacific Ocean now. Are you sure she's my ex-girlfriend? She's a very beautiful red-haired lady. Big tits. You sure you don't know her? I know many women, but I can confirm that I don't have a red-haired, big-tit ex-girlfriend. Do you know any lady like that at all, even if she's not your ex? No. Did you tell her my address? Yup. I thought that she's really your ex. Looks like I've made some trouble for you. I'll go there now. Who is it? Leonardo, a patrolman in town. I think he's also from your police station. The so-called patrolman was actually just a police in charge of the local area. There was no police station in Mountain Town, so the town was under the police station of another region. A person like Leonard may need to patrol 2 to 3 such towns in a single day. I know that guy, Jerlin said. Why did he call you? A person who claimed to be my ex-girlfriend asked him for my address, and he told her, Your ex? You know that my ex is on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. After I came here, you're the only woman I've had any stable relationship with. Just then, someone knocked on the door. Jerlin looked at Chen Zhao. Do you want me to go and open the door? I'll go. I also want to see who claimed to be my ex-girlfriend. Me too. Chen Zhao and Jerlin walked to the front door. Opening the door, they saw a man and a woman outside. Wait, you're Faylai, right? Chen Zhao tried to recall his memories about Faylai. Weren't you boyfriend and girlfriend before? Why do you look like you don't really know her? Is it because your current girlfriend is beside you? Kanan asked. Chun Zhao also found Kanan familiar, but he could not remember where he had seen Kanan. Kanan, we've met before. I'm a fireman. Suddenly, Fei Lai leaped towards Chun Zhao fiercely. You thief! Return me my Walter! Return me my Walter! Woof! Just then, Walter charged out in excitement. He had heard Fei Lai's voice. Chun Zhao was totally speechless as it was a really bad timing for Walter to appear. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.